It's more so just the will of Phil when we end. Because
The
God, we
will
know
of
we
Phil.
don't have a sleep schedule.
I have to, please.
I must
No, you go to your
slumber.
court case tired, and when they ask, why are you tired, Mr. The Lab? And you'll just go, well, you see, I was playing Dungeons and Dragons really late. I was being a robot man.
I was make-believing I was a robot man with my friends. They're like, oh, these are friends that came over to your house or something? And I'd be like, no, in fact, the opposite.
Yeah.
Anyway, Your Honor, about the trial.
Yeah.
I was like, no, let's bring this up. I want to see this. What is this?
Yeah.
We're in that big TV thing.
It's in the middle of the trial you're talking about.
Exhibit 1.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I think we should really just be talking about this. Like, I demand that you tell me what you did last night in excruciating detail.
Mhm.
Or anything different.
Other
Shall we
than being
Dungeons and
hilarious, yeah. What do we all remember? What are we all up to? What's...
Fuck Graham.
About to head that bridge, right?
Yeah, a
Be
Barbican?
the troll or something?
Yeah, fight.
Barbican.
What is it?
Yeah, the
We were gonna
Barbican.
kill Grant?
Babel?
Or
The Barbican.
Barbican.
Well,
Yeah, we're gonna kill Grant.
Kill Grant?
while I was gone, did you guys devise a way to put Graham in the front lines of this
Well,
oncoming
I
battle?
will say, while you were gone, Graham like volunteered himself to come with us.
Nice.
But I think I was like, I don't think that people want him to come with us, so I kind of encouraged him to stay here.
Oh, okay.
Which he, begrudgingly did,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, I'll stay back.
He also apparently really wanted friends. I was like,
Yeah, he asked Comet all about how he can become friends with everyone and how is Comet so friendly in this economy.
That's it.
He couldn't get it. Poor Graham. He's still learning.
Yeah, he's just like, what am I doing wrong? And Comet's like, try being nice. And he's like, that'll never work.
Oh, Comet, you ignorant fool.
Come on,
That'll
be
never...
serious, Comet.
Mhm.
As he kept getting the details wrong about everyone else.
Yeah. The Metal Man,
Made a
the
whole
Flaming
little
Lady.
tweet about it.
I love that video.
Mhm.
Poor Graham.
I always thought it was funny because in the video up on the corner, I didn't notice it until later. It just has "make a food" on
Make a
top,
food.
the whole time, and I was like, "Well,
Your priorities. Make a food.
yeah."
It's a hidden joke for those who are
Yeah.
perceptive.
Oh man, where'd my music go? I didn't loop it.
I'm ready to see what
21.
monstrosity we have in store. All I know is it's got wings and it's big.
Yeah.
We learned of I thought we were just fighting like zombie soldiers, so I'm guessing that's now not the case, that there's some large creature that we're fighting.
He told us about the Barbican that has been taken over by zombies, but he said that there's one really big creature. I don't think I don't know if he said it was undead or anything. All he said it was like a soldier guy with wings. So I was
remember
like,
the forest animals were. Did that relate to the forest animals being dead? I remember that was a thing, but
No, those are just.
I guess.
Yeah.
No, it was more that there's not really any animals around this area.
Oh,
We're it's kind of getting more and more scarce because Silas went hunting and he couldn't find anything.
Got it.
Very
So,
true.
I have a before we get out there, because I gotta prepare spells.
Okay.
You know anything about the terrain of this place before we leave? Like,
Nothing specific, no. I mean,
I imagine though. Sorry, go ahead.
we can assume it's similar to what we've been doing because they didn't say like, "Oh, watch out, it's like mountainous" or anything like that. Like they didn't say anything dangerous about it. So
We
Probably
may have
gonna
we got what's his name with us, right? I can't see his name because it's blocked by Flotsam. But
Oh my gosh! Let me move that.
Oh yeah, Rowan.
Rowan.
yeah, he is coming with
It's
us.
one of them to come with you.
Shane, we
Can
may
Rowan
have to
tell-
siege. We may have to siege some type of something or other. I imagine that this place that we're going, Babadook or whatever it's called is has some types of walls or something. Like it sounds like it's fortified in some way.
Mm-hmm. It is a fortified outpost at the front of a bridge rather than the back.
Understood.
Mm.
Yeah, as far as I know, it's a bridge with like a sort of structure in front of the bridge, and that's what we're trying to take back.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the determination of what is the front and the back of the bridge is sort of subjective depending on what side of the bridge.
Well, I feel like the back of the bridge for us is going to be the city. So
yeah, but for them, all right, we don't have to spend time on this. I'm ready.
The outer perimeter of the bridge.
Mm-hmm. The entrance.
Right.
This is Common Flotsam walking along.
Yes, bridge philosophy.
What is the front of the bridge?
How many holes does a bridge have? Is it one big one or two?
Just the instant that Comet starts to just go like, what's the front of a bridge? And everyone in the entire group just goes,
Oh, poor Comet.
They weren't ready for the real questions.
If you replace every part of a bridge, is it still the same bridge? Or is it a new bridge?
Is it a new bridge? Oh, I hate it.
I think if you ask Comet that, he'd be quiet for a very long time.
It's either that or he'd be like, "Oh, it's a new bridge because you've replaced it," like very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
either they never answer or they answer instantly.
Yeah. Comet is one of it's either quick or you get nothing. Or like he asks you two questions that you weren't ready for.
Just like
I don't have any idea about this terrain, so I'm just gonna pick some stuff that might work.
It's like a hypothetical, but you answer with like more questions.
Right.
As you're walking and you do hype up about wanting to know the terrain, Rowan does state that it is essentially just a square fortification built at the outer perimeter of the bridge. It is very much an enclosed space, more built to be like a kill box for archers who would stay on the wall and let the other soldiers funnel in, and then they pick them off from the high ground. But they mentioned there are some buildings there as like an outer city little trade hub.
Is there an entrance through the roof?
It's like an open roof thing. It's like an empty box.
Might be something to consider to go top down.
You could
Because
potentially.
we're all very capable of going up.
My inspiring leader feat, if anyone doesn't have their 9 temp HP.
Essentially, it is like this. This is what he describes. That's the bridge to the right, and they're like outposts. And that's where the dude is. Kind of blocking this gate.
What?
I see.
There's a little gate here.
Yeah, look at
Getting
here.
in is gonna be the challenge. And then once we're in, we gotta be careful not to get trapped, because if they still have archers or something that can fire arrows at us from above, and that's no point.
Who's good at going up?
Well,
I can
Viridian
climb.
Well, yeah,
jump
you're-
really high.
Viridian can jump. You can fly, right?
Who?
With Penny. I'm pointing at Adelaide.
Penny can fly, yes.
Here, Lex
Believe
kind of crawl up. It's like, well, okay, they can't fly us. They're tiny. Have you seen them? They're like a foot tall. If that.
Lex not. Oh.
Adelaide and I can both turn invisible, I believe. Not useful for climbing, but useful for infiltration.
So if me, Viridian, and Penny get up onto the rooftop, we could probably let some rope down, and then we can start the assault from the top bottom.
I'll look at the Hellion. The two of us could also be useful for some sort of distraction.
We could do that. Thing is, they're probably not going to This isn't gonna be like the bandits. We're not gonna be able to distract them for too long. We'll get their attention and then they'll attack. So we'll have to move back.
Understood. Perhaps it would be best if we gathered some more information before making a plan.
Well, Rowan, you're our information guy. Before we get there.
He shrugs and gives you a look that he doesn't think he'll be able to help, but is gonna try his best.
Do you have a rough estimate of how many guys were there?
He ponders for a bit. Well, most of them are probably back inside now. From reconnaissance, we've just noticed that the big one sticks around. Haven't seen any more for a while. And as for the front gate, that's wide open. I don't think we're going to have to worry about climbing over a wall.
So it might just be a
Open.
one-on.
Is it an open fortification? Like, is there a roof to it? Because we could set Penny to kind of scout and see how many there are.
Yeah, he shakes his head. You should have no problem flying over. Unless
When they
it has a
attack
range thing.
Well, when they attacked you, did they use ranged weaponry or magic of any kind?
He ponders as I look through character sheets.
The sound of frantic.
I look as a little hate.
Yeah,
If only I had $5 to make it.
Legendary action is not a spell. No, they didn't.
he shakes his head. The normal knights that aren't like 20 feet tall don't seem to have any ranged with them, but the larger ones seems to have some sort of radiance abilities about them.
20
fuck.
tall. Gee. That's big.
He shrugs. Rough estimate.
Understood.
How high can everyone jump?
Very.
Really? Okay. Because if that's the case, I might be able to help. I can make you jump a little bit higher.
I also can climb, so jumping is not too much of a difficulty for me.
Well, I can help someone get up there if that's the problem we're having.
We will say that you have reached the wall with your walking, and you can at least send Penny into a scout. I don't have like a little area before the gate, but we can easily say you kind of chill out back against the wall at the gatehouse as I group you all together to copy a whole bunch of you. And you give the Penny the old go get 'em, send them over the top of the wall so we can let's give you more of a visual of what's going on around here so we're not stuck on the same page for the entire time. There we go.
I don't want Penny to get sniped out of the sky again. That's just not fun.
That would be
Vesper down.
Cast invisibility on Penny.
it very well could. If you want to use the spell slot to do it.
I can only use mine on
good
myself.
spell slot.
That's a good spell slot.
Penny also just looks like an owl.
She does.
Cool.
Zoom out a bit.
How often do you notice a bird?
Right.
Yeah.
And get so angry that you kill it.
Oh, hey.
Calling Penny basic.
Oh, hey, check out that thing.
Oh no.
Yeah.
A Valkyrie
no.
Knight.
So you are all kind
Whoa.
of hustled up, let's say, behind this wall.
Penny.
And you got Penny kind of lying about. Through Penny's eyes, as you stand there, kind of eyes glazed over as you scouting through them, you see what looks like, a pretty well estimated 20 feet tall knight that seems to just be standing kind of at attention, just waiting, like a sentinel. Its armor all kind of like bedazzled out in like very Valkyrie-esque thematics.
Adornments.
Yeah, but rather than being like a very feminine Valkyrie, they look kind of just like a very buff, masculine suit of armor. With these large wings kind of protruding from the back. You're not sure if they work. You think they'd have to be like 20 times bigger to propel something of this size, but magic exists, so...
Word.
And there aren't any other enemies, like, walking around or vibing at the windows?
Roll me a perception. Unless your passive perception also passes through Penny.
Well, I don't know, does it?
I am
looking through Penny, so I guess it would.
I'll still make you roll, but like the DC is very low.
Gotcha.
I guess that depends if you think if you think perception is like the natural ability to like your eyesight, or like how perceptive, like in how you are.
That's a perceptive bird.
Familiar says that you have to use the stats of your food.
I think you do have advantage because you have keen hearing and sight. So.
Yeah. Well, I can use Penny stats. Hold on. Not that we need it, but Penny does have a +3 to perception, so it would be
it'll be 21.
unnatural 20.
Sheesh.
And then what about the advantage, though? Gotta make sure you don't get a crit.
Tell us about those vibes, Cheeki. Take a sip and tell us about the vibes.
Well, the houses look relatively untouched. They look like they were once used for residency, as Rowan has kind of said they used to live here. Though they don't look like they've been like burnt down or destroyed or anything, and you do not peep any lurkers inside any of them, nor anything walking along the walls that seem to be a good 30 feet up in the sky. Well, they're not floating, but you know what I mean.
Alright. I'm a cast long right now. Get out of the way.
How tall are the walls?
About 30 feet up. Pretty high.
So at this thing's height, it could literally reach up and grab someone from the wall.
It could climb up there.
Okay.
Theoretically. Not sure it won't happen.
I will say, with your perception, you do notice as you're flying around that the armor of this knight looks more like fleshy than metal. Like, it doesn't have the same sheen metal would have. It almost looks organic in some way.
We love to see it.
This thing probably smells so bad.
Flesh metal.
It's a Geiger Knight, a Geiger Valkyrie.
What in the Warhammer did you put in this game?
It is definitely not like disgustingly veiny as a Giga would be. It just has that kind of like dimplage you see on like skin texture.
Oh boy, the dimplage.
Yeah, that like weird like just
skin armor.
Bumpy, yeah.
So in essence, it's leather armor.
Yeah, you could kind of say like a hide or a chitin.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So it might be natural armor.
No.
This might just be some weird angel creature.
Adelaide, is it responding to Penny at all?
Not that I can tell.
What do you think we should do?
I have an idea. Well, right now our issue is getting across that courtyard to that thing. And I acknowledge the Nightman I have forgotten the name of. Rowan said that it has the ability to make a ranged attack. So what if Viridian Ra Rowan and I climbed up onto the roofs and tried to go around and sneak by and try to jump onto it to start combat while Adelaide and Flotsam and Comet stay back over here and assault it with ranged attacks.
I feel as
Keeping
though
you out of harm's way.
I feel as though we should spread out at least some manner of distance. My fear is that if all of us converge, we may all be within striking distance of it. I mean, its wingspan alone would be enough to, I think, mortally wound us in physical combat.
Mm.
Before we continue discussions, Adelaide is just gonna like pop a mage armor. This seems like a good time.
Mhm.
I could distract it and give you all a chance to get into a better position. We can also test out whether it prefers ranged attacks or if it feels confident enough to engage in melee. If it engages in melee, that'll be better for me.
What weapons did it have?
It has one pretty large-looking ornate sword that it seems to be holding, very sentinel-like, kind of resting it on its hands as it stabs into the ground.
If I can get, I would like to maintain my distance, but I'm more of I can be more of assistance if I am closer to those that are in combat. So I don't want to be too far away. I can use some invisibility to go and try and take up residence in one of these houses. At the very least, with its large stature, it won't be able to get to me easily if I can get inside.
What would you do from one of the houses?
I could lay down suppressing fire, attempt to use some magics and my music to assist those that are engaged in combat.
Right.
Silas, you're fast, right?
Very.
Let's say you and I just get up to it, like, right away, before it has a chance to react. Because I don't think it's going to move. It's guarding that gate. It's not going to leave that area. So I think we need to engage it, and everyone else can get in position while it's focusing on us.
Viridian has Whirlwind, so that's the three of us can get up to it real fast.
He nods.
I mean, I can do it in a single, 6 seconds.
Same.
I want you three to be careful. Keep eyes on yourself. Make sure you don't get too hurt. And I'm gonna give them all I'm gonna give Viridian, Hellion, and Silas a quick hug and give them each a bless. So I'm blessing those three. Yeah. And I'm also giving Raw advantage on their next initiative.
Let's give it
Thank you.
little half up. There you go.
Alright. In that case, I'd like to do some bonus actions before I start then. Is that alright?
Yeah.
First is I'm gonna get my blades out. And we're gonna start with that arcane or right of flame dealio. So that's 2d4. So out of my temporary hit points, so 4.
Exactly,
but now I got flame sword. And then I'm going to get my blade song up.
Start singing.
And
start spinning in place.
I'm gonna cast Blur on myself, which starts the 1 minute timer for both. Then I'm gonna just fucking go from where I'm at. I'm just gonna go for it.
I'm gonna put my helmet on.
Ah, nice.
All right.
And I think Rowan should hop up on Whirlwind, because from all I know, Rowan can only do melee, so...
I was gonna cast invisibility and try and get to a position prior to this happening, but if it's too late for that, that's fine.
No, Hellion said they're gonna start working on some stuff.
It takes time to do all this, so if you want to do some stuff,
Okay, I'll go and then don't know how you want me to. If you want me to like stop, you let me know. But I'm gonna try and like.
Yeah, let's just see what kind of sights this thing has.
Oh no, I'm invisible. I did cast invisibility.
Yeah, you are invisible. I'm just making sure I didn't give it like true sight or anything.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get. Oh, this is the entrance, so I guess I would have gone. I double back.
Yeah.
Does this place have like windows that I can see out of?
Yeah, wherever you want
Like
there to be a window,
facing-
you can have a window.
Yeah, I'll try to get in there and like try and maybe like here.
Yeah, take cover behind the wall there.
And like try and like aim out a window. I'm invisible.
You're all stealthed up.
And I do want to cast a spell when I see the Hellion approaching, but that can be at the start of.
Alrighty, so we'll say that anyone running in, let's just roll initiative. We can just do that.
Yes, sir.
Let's get the turn order up.
Perfect.
Did it not give me advantage?
You can just roll it again.
Yeah, just roll it again. Easy.
Better.
Give them.
Oh, why did I roll twice? Huh.
Oh no, we'll grab your first one.
So nice, you roll it twice.
15, bam.
Rowan.
Rowan.
Run!
Get in there, Rowan.
Roan!
Run!
Brr.
Oh no.
Well, you're up first, Alien. You going running?
Yeah, I got Long Strider and Blade Song up, so my speed is 50 feet.
Sheesh.
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I'm gonna dash.
Yep.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bonus action Misty Step, or Smoky Step in this case, and I'm going to be right up in front of him. Hello.
Sheesh.
Good day. And then
Just kills you.
Squishes you.
Oh no.
but I got her up and all that good stuff, so I'm hoping that I'm not that easy to get killed. We'll see. But that's all my actions is just getting right there. So.
Oh man, so you full on just actually charge this thing.
We don't know its initiative.
Grab. Yeah, well, it definitely seems to take notice as you start sprinting at it, as I find the right music I want for this. And prepare the music to be a bit quieter.
Can it be epic end of the world music this time? Is that alright?
Yeah. I don't think I got
Really,
something
but-
Boss fight, yeah.
What do you mean? Can it be Hey Ya by
So
Outside?
it's like, well, this is just a fight, you know? I just want normal fight music that's not like the earth is about to explode music, right?
No, I got some good music.
It's not gonna explode. I want it for this game.
Alright.
Fighting an angel.
Prepare your
Or
prepare
something.
your rhythms or groovies because it might get a little bit loud.
Brace for groove.
I was about to say, is it going to be Dark
Yes,
Souls?
Iron
Yeah.
Golem.
It's gonna be Dark Souls. That's just the Iron Golem theme.
Yep.
It definitely takes notice as you start sprinting at it. Its whole body kind of jostling to life almost, as if it was on like standby until you showed up. It didn't really have a... Yeah. And it does very aggressively kind of enter a battle stance as you stop and like skid right in front of it. Let's put... Oh, well, it got a nat 1 initiative, so... Which is still
what an
better than
idiot.
Comet.
Whoever gets
Hey, cleric going last. That's going after the enemy. That's usually pretty
not
good.
Not the worst thing, but we'll see. The thing I'm worried about is that means everyone's making death saving throws before my turn. So, yeah.
So it stares down at you. No real expression you can gather from it, but you could assume how something of this stature would be staring at a small little thing running at it that's kind of vibrating and on fire. Rowan is waiting for Viridian. So, Silas, you are up.
Okay, I can make it there. Because I have 120 feet of movement.
Sheesh.
If I use Tabaxi Burst of Speed, giving me 80, and then plus 40. So. Meow!
And
oh my god!
And plus 40 from.
Burst of Speed, and then dash.
Oh, okay, right.
To get into position.
Shoosh.
And get on its flank.
It kind of jostles to be kind of facing the two of you rather than just facing straight forward now. It's assessing the threat a bit more as more people start running at it. Adelaide, you're kind of chilling behind the wall somewhere still.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen two of your fellow comrades sprint off and lots of them vanished at some point.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Yeah, I can just, like, poke my head out there.
Yeah.
Move back. I'm gonna toss a chromatic orb at it.
It's gonna go for the long
First
shot.
damage.
Nice.
Let's see this thing's stupid high AC. 23. 23.
You do have the habit of rolling insane high on your attacks anyway, so yeah, that definitely hits. What flavor are you giving them?
How spicy we make.
Yeah. What kind of spice do we want to throw?
Welcome to Adelaide's kitchen.
Maybe cold.
Anything besides poison, because everything's resistant or immune to poison.
Too, right?
Yeah. Let's do fire. And this will also be like an experiment to see like
If rock can do damage.
Yeah, if rock can do damage. Yeah, let's do fire damage.
Alright, you tear up against its flesh metal.
Oh.
From that distance, I would like you to make an insight check to see if you can gather whether this thing is resistant or not to said damage.
Are we able to determine that since we're close by?
Sure. I'll allow you two to kind of gauge if this thing is reacting any more or less to anything that's hitting it. You have no idea.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I
let's
wasn't
go
paying
negative
attention.
wisdom team. Hey, it's actually not that bad.
Was that fire that you just used?
Is that what fire looks like?
You
This thing
definitely
breathes
feel.
fire, is what I imagine.
You definitely feel that this thing, like most things, is rather resistant to fire.
Ooh.
Though it doesn't regenerate from it, so that's, it's not immune, nor does it make it 5 times stronger, so it could have been worse.
Sweet.
I'm glad I tested that out before I did Melf's Minute Meteors.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'll just duck behind the wall again.
Alright.
Going for pot shots? Nice.
Yeah.
Its attention seems to be grabbed by the wall that seems to be shooting at it. I should have built some area behind the wall. Viridian and Rowan and Whirlwind go sprinting off. It has a 60 feet, so 120 feet. So
Also, I think we have the idea of trying to surround it.
Well.
Well, you got 2 more peeps.
Yeah, they come sprinting in. I guess that was Whirlwind's movement, so Viridian would do his cool lunging Emperor Palpatine attack and just try and just launch off and try and attack this thing head on.
Viridian would try to mount.
Exactly.
Why is it that whenever Viridian uses his like Griffin ability, it's just like he just gets ragdolled into the air and then latches onto something?
His rapier and
it's like a shot of him, then a shot of just like a ragdoll flying, and then a shot of him landing.
Yeah, like one of those old like terrible movies where they like throw the ragdoll. It doesn't seem to do anything. You like see kind of sparks fly as he hits this thing, but it doesn't seem to make its way into the armor at all. And Rowan kind of freaks out, like sidling off of Whirlwind.
He does have bless. I don't know if that'll matter, but he is blessed.
So
next D4.
It might. Let's roll it.
Oh, if it gets a 4.
It doesn't.
Okay.
I have a feeling this thing's AC might be 17.
It might be pretty high. Flotsam, you're in your little house all cozied up behind this counter and the little windowsill.
Tea.
Yeah, sipping.
I wonder what the gents are up
Just
to
pouring it
outside.
on your faceplate.
Oh, bother.
Spilling down my robot body. I am going to cast Cloud of Piranha at 3rd level on the mans.
On the mans.
I don't care. It's a 5-foot cube, I believe. Let me just check that. And I want to get it like up, like towards the center mass, if that's possible.
Yeah,
so yeah, cube
around
5
its like
feet on each
torso.
side.
Let's
Gonna
see
summon a
if we can
swarm of piranha inside of it.
No, I don't know if I can do that, but that's what I'll do. Let's see.
If there is an inside and it's not full of stuff. What is this? What is this?
What is this?
Is it going to show up? No.
What have you brought me?
So that was 17.
There we go. We'll get the flounder.
The flounder.
Yes. 17. The air fills. Doesn't have to make nothing, does it?
Nope.
It just
Sorry,
takes
mate.
Well,
Pure damage there.
well.
Guard magic missile in an area.
Yeah. So 12 plus 5 is math.
17.
Yep. Plus other math. So your little, like, kind of semi-incorporeal quippers, as they are in D&D, the piranhas, kind of start swarming around this thing's upper torso and start trying to gnaw at it, and it, like, kind of backs up as if something's jumping on its chest. It's like trying to look down at it. It's not sure what is going on right now with these flying fish. But it looks rather assaulted right now, as it is starting to see more and more things start to show up.
With sorry, did you have anything more?
It starts to get ready to do something, but it is still your turn. Should you?
Yeah, I do want to use I'm gonna use a bonus action and give Bardic Inspiration to the Hellion.
Alright.
And I believe my Bardic is at a D8. Yes, it is, a D8. To one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw it makes.
I will say,
So
how are you giving this inspiration?
I have like a particular. When I play my fiddle,
Yeah.
there's these strings up here that are attached from the top of the fret. I don't know if you can hear this.
It's very, very, very
like
slight.
a very. But it's like not a note, but it is like a little like ding, like a little pling noise. I'll
say,
use the.
While you're doing that, roll me a stealth to see if this thing kind of catches on to that something might be in the house.
Sure. And I'm no longer invisible. That would have had to have gone away. Stealth.
But it goes off nonetheless, so you are inspired, Hellion, should you need it. Let's see if this thing can see you. It seems to be looking around, rather curious at the note it just heard. It doesn't seem to have spotted you just yet.
Hey. That ends. I'm gonna end my turn.
That ends your turn. All right. Well, at the
start of its turn, it does take the damage from the
piranhas
cloud while I'm concentrating on the spell. So do you want to use that same 17 or do you want me to roll again?
I'll have you roll again, but it at the end of your turn is using a legendary action to take one big swipe straight down at the Hellion that's right in front of him. Going for a big slash with their massive honkin' sword. Even at disadvantage, your AC right now is what, Hellion? 19. It just misses. Kind of slams its sword down next to you, sending rubble kind of spattering up between you and Viridian as it takes another amount of slashing damage. 19 this time. Yelch.
Does it take do I just do the regular 44 when it enters the thing, or does it do the 44 plus the higher level cast damage?
I assume the higher level cast.
I would think so too. I just wanted to make sure.
Casting at a high level.
Yep.
And then it is its turn, so it does take its bitings. Is very angry about it, and it is going to make a plethora of attacks against the people around it, kind of going for like a chopping block mechanism, trying to hit each of you once just by going for vertical slices, just trying to stomp you out. First one at the Hellion, second one at Viridian, and a final one at Silas. Holy shit. It's looking like it's gonna hit you, Hellion. Do you wish to use a shield in the hopes that it will save your life?
Well, save your life?
Yeah, there's a one-hit kill weapon. I should have mentioned this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's think about this. I had disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Chances that you got 2 20s in a row making shields not viable is low, but very possible. I'm going to use a shield. I want to not die the first round.
You bring up your hand, and the kind of hazy kind of mirage you bring up in front of you, and it seems to stop its large blade in its tracks, not touching you at all.
Heck yeah.
The second attack completely chopping Viridian as his AC is trash.
Let's see how much damage this does.
Is he raging?
No, that's what I was going to say. He's not raging.
No, he did not. So he is going to take a hefty 18 points of damage from that.
Okay.
Respectable.
The third hit, however, was a double nat 20.
Oh, on me.
On you. It rolled a nat 20 on its second attack, but that was its disadvantage attack, but it doesn't have advantage. But for Silas, it was just both nat 20s. So unless you...
Once Comet's 4 turns of getting over there are up,
you better watch out.
It'll be over.
So you're kind of a bit mesmerized by it, like cleaving at the Hellion as they stop it. Viridian, like taking a hefty cleave to the chest. You don't really expect it has more effort in it anymore, but then you just get completely like backhand swung by its sword, taking 30 points of slashing damage.
Oof.
As it almost knocks you onto your back, but you kind of Dragon Ball Z slide with the sword a little. Your chest piece of armor kind of crumpled a little.
Oh no!
Ow, indeed.
Knocked your block off.
Yeah, knocked your frickin' head in. It then does nothing. Its legendary actions return though. Comet!
I'm gonna make my concentration save for my helmet.
Oh yeah.
I'm
hey,
fine.
it's still up.
All right, let's
Keep your helmet on.
So yeah, are we here or are we like right on the edge of the
I say
wall?
you would technically be on the far left of it. I should have definitely made like the little outer spot, but you're just anywhere along that wall on the other side.
All right, cool. So I think first I'm gonna like come out right here, grab a reach for my book, grab a globule, and just shoot a guiding bolt at this Valkyrie Knight.
Guide this nerd.
Get it?
That was against Radiant. This is the question.
The nerd.
Hit the nerd. 21 to hit. Easy hit. Does not seem to enjoy Radiant. A bit of a hypocrite this thing seems to be.
Yes!
Yeah, 14 radiant damage.
As it is now lit up, ready for its next attack.
And then bonus action, I go invisible.
Ooh.
And I'm making my way as far as I can, which should be about 20 feet, I believe, because I went 10 feet there. So I'm there. That's as far as I can move.
Still invisible though?
Yeah, still invisible until the start of my next turn.
Alright. Smart.
You just hear panting and large armor like,
Yeah.
from vaguely over there.
That's my turn.
Hellion.
Alright, I'm breaking up a bit, so I'm gonna try to be
Try to be brief.
clear, but I'm gonna make an attack, now with advantage, and I'll add bless to that too. Well, actually,
You also have Bardic
Yeah,
inspiration.
you're blessed and have Bardic, just in
Yeah.
case.
You bless, advantage, and bardic. So
so do
Rolls
I
of one.
have to use Bardic beforehand?
No. you can
After
use
you
that.
see
Am I
your
allowed to
D20, the rules are after you see the D20, but before you know the result. I think.
Yeah.
Is generally how that works.
Got it. Alright, in that case.
Like, see what you get, and then you can add the Bardic.
Mhm.
And the Bardic is 10 minutes, I think.
And
Yeah,
then
Lost Ages.
adding bless. So that's
Alright.
a 21. So I'm not gonna add a Bardic to that.
Alright. Well, that'll get it.
Yeah. The lowest hit has been 21 so far. So-
And what I'm gonna do is, as a reaction, because it's taking 1 point of fire damage, I'm gonna use the Blood Curse of Searing. So, and I'm gonna amplify it.
Alrighty.
So I'm gonna use a bit of blood magic to get rid of its resistance. I'm gonna take this D4 of damage, and also it's going to continue to be fire damage normally for the next 3.
So it's got 3 rounds of non-vulnerable
Shane,
to fire.
Nice.
Yep. Also, I get an
3
extra
rounds.
D6.
You do a little bit more fire.
Yeah.
So it
that's
gets
13
scorched up.
damage
This little
for the first
tiny amount of fire you put on it immediately erupts into much more.
The
Yeah. You notice that when it touches him, it goes from like a normal fire color to just like blood red, very vibrant red color. Any fire that hits like the ground, regular, and if it has anything to do with him, it's like blood red.
sweet.
I'll make a bonus action attack. Not a
Yeah, it's litness
Regular.
has gone down now.
Litness.
It's a litness.
That's still
21.
gonna be
21.
21.
And that's going. Cool.
Shoo.
You should move around the side of it so we can get that flank. Because God, we know Viridian's not going to move.
Oh, you know what else? I just realized because it says here when you amplify the blood curse, I can reroll ones on fire. It means I can reroll that other one.
Oh yeah,
Because
go
I
for it.
amplified it. Remember that. There's a lot to that.
Yeah, there's a little bit to that. So one more
Okay,
damage.
One more fire damage.
Sweet.
That's how I'm done.
Alright, you don't want to move? Just in case you get that surround?
I will. Good point. I'll just dance around it a little bit.
Alright.
That's a good
About,
work.
yeah, about here, so I can help other people flank.
Alright. It is going to use one of its legendary actions as you end your turn to make an attack at you. Trying to cleave at you. Looking like it's gonna hit. Do you have another shield in you potentially? Or you use your
No,
one?
but that was a disadvantage, right?
It was, yes.
Okay, I don't have
I'm pretty
initially-
lucky with you.
At first.
Then it is going to connect. Only for 15 damage though, so on the lower end. Half of what Siles took, but
That was good though. So I mean, that's still a lot of.
that is still,
damage.
yeah. And you have to make
I
a
gotta
con save for your blur, I think. Or does blur just stay up?
No, I gotta make a save. I gotta add my intelligence to this from
Oh,
Blade Song. So I'm gonna just do. Just add a +3 to this.
alright. Yeah, you're fine.
Right? 20.
You are fine and dandy. Rowan is gonna run around seeing your flanking maneuvers, kind of cartwheel past you, Silas, to get behind him. And you officially have them surrounded as they're going to make a chop with their great axe right at the Yankees, going for the tendies.
Not the 10.
Not the tendies.
Right in the tenders.
Right in the tenders. Holy shit, he rolled a lot.
Rowan.
Damn! He got
Great
that.
weapon buddies, let's go.
He got that brute ability. Sheesh.
Oh, he's a brute fighter. Fuck, this is gonna be a lot of damage.
Yeah.
12 plus 10 is a lot.
Yeah. Holy crap. That's math for you. Do they got multi-attack? I think they do. They got 2 attacks.
Oh, get him.
For another chop. Ooh.
He is blessed. No, he's not. Never mind.
Yeah, he's not blessed.
Yeah.
The Valkyrie Knight's like, did they do all of the side quests before they came here?
I can't believe they did the side quests. Clever.
Could you do the side quests?
My pain.
Silas,
It's
you
like
are
it's
up.
like when there's like text at the bottom of the screen because it's still doing its introductory text for the boss fight, but you're speedrunning, you're going so fast before they can finish that first part, you go to the next cutscene. Like, you're stronger than I thought.
So, I'm gonna like get my ass up off the ground after getting my like chest piece, like have a huge dent in it now, and kind of like sweep up with my Kopesh, going for like the ankle if I can. So let's give it a good old.
Thank God for the advantage. That hits.
Question: is this thing a fiend or an undead?
It
AKA,
is
do I get my
not.
bonus radiance?
No, sadly not.
Well, let's still put a level 2 smite on this.
You'll give it the hurt.
The ouch.
For 21 damage.
Yo.
Unless it's vulnerable to radiant.
It
'Cause I can do the math for you.
Not vulnerable.
It is.
No.
Okay.
No. You can't just exclaim it is excitedly and then make it. So it's dead. It is. Yes. Woo! Level 20.
Hooray.
Woo.
And then in the wound I create, I'm basically just gonna like almost like grab my sword by the blade and shove my blade down into it and try to rip the tendon out. Yeah. Going hard. This is revenge for denting my chest in.
that hits.
Oh, okay. 17. I still was gonna add my bless, but I guess
if you want.
Well, no, it's AC 17. And another second level smite for 30!
Oh, man.
This cut in its, like, ankle area just bursts with radiant energy as it looks down in a bit of pain. You hear, like, creaking and, like, metal screeching as you do. Like, all the kind of gaps in the armor kind of let out like a jet of air almost. It doesn't seem happy. But you know, what would? So unhappy that, in fact, is at the end of your turn.
And then I'm going to Inspiring Smite myself because I need health.
Smart.
So
it's
TDA
definitely gonna hit you as soon as this ends.
So I get 16 temporary hit points.
Nice, that's a lot.
So I'm back up to 42.
Alrighty.
A false 42, so I'm still I'm very good at being healed right now. That's my turn.
Adelaide.
Right. Well, first I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Dragon's Breath on Penny through Penny.
Oh yeah, because it has touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bird.
It's 40 feet away, so I can get like 25 feet away, and it will be like at the very, very fringe of the cone of energy, and I won't hit any of my friends. Everyone wins.
You said friends, it's canon.
No, I didn't. That's me saying it, not Adelaide. No, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Penny's like, you are my friends, and Adelaide's like, I didn't say that. That was Penny.
No canon.
Or Adelaide's like behind the wall by herself. She's like, no one heard.
Penny, don't hurt my friends. I mean my
my colleagues, my coworkers.
Let's see this bird.
Anyway, it's gonna be lightning damage too. So make me a dex save, pretty please.
Will do. Let's see if this thing's got any dex to it. It seems to. Holy crap. It'll take half, though, I think.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. It'll take half.
I thought you were going to say, make me a dex save, pretty boy.
Well.
The power. So much power, it froze Shane.
Shane was frozen like...
Was I?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. Okay, so after that, Penny is gonna like fly behind the statue. And then Adelaide is gonna duck out again, and since it's vulnerable to fire damage now, right?
Seems to be.
Hell yeah! So I'm gonna throw a firebolt.
Sweet.
Send it.
Oh.
Good accuracy. Little amount of damage.
It like dodges through the piranhas and everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like 20 feet tall. It's a big target.
And you would notice too that what your fire, when it hits, also turns super blue.
It's and just lights up red, like you're shooting.
Yeah.
What's the chemical that makes it red?
I know phosphorus changes the color, but I don't think it's that one.
Yeah. Anyways, that is my turn because Penny and I are both hiding. Yay!
All right. So you kind of duck back. Let's say for convenience sake, behind this alley, since that's more in the map than out on the map.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Since I don't have an outer map. You see everyone around it, I suppose. You see its gaze kind of snap over to the wall where you're throwing these like pesky little spells from.
No.
And you swear, you guys around it, though you don't have any frame of context to what this sounds like, it almost sounds like a jet engine spinning up and getting ready to, like, blast. But this thing seems to completely vanish with this radiant kind of explosion.
Oh no!
Everyone around
understepping.
it seems to be getting the frick out of here. Everyone within 10 feet of it, make a dexterity saving throw. So everyone around it, you know who you are.
Oh no!
Whoa! Nice knowing you,
14.
folks.
I'm adding a bardic to that. I'm adding a bardic.
Oh wait, bless. Add bless. You guys are
you want to
blessed.
add your bless.
So 16.
I guess I'll do that first.
Viridian has danger sense.
Let's see.
And you can
17.
definitely see this coming.
17 high enough. That's
And Rowan.
I would not blame you if you used the bardic
I'm gonna use it.
inspiration.
I'm gonna use the bardic.
Just
The
in
D8.
case.
Is it a D8?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Alright,
Ooh,
18.
20.
Rowan.
Rowan.
Whoa!
Win.
Damn.
Backflips out of there.
Shee. Alright, so what did everyone get? An 18, 16, 19 for Viridian. Whirlwind is the only one who seems to have failed. Poor Whirlwind.
No!
Whirlwind dies here.
Whirlwind is
No, it
dead.
can't.
I mean, that gets Radiant in a rage, probably.
Yeah.
So.
It's like a Kamehameha where one just like, oh, and then just like starts to fade away.
So Whirlwind takes a total of 16 points of damage, while the rest of you take 8. Yeah, half of 16. Unless you have something that negates if you succeed, but I'm not sure if you do. So 8 radiant damage as this thing is like swept up in like this radiant blast, like a Mega Man when he's leaving a level. You're like, ooh. And they seem to appear smack bang landing right in front of you, Adelaide.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
And they are pissed as they use their Radiant Relocation legendary action. Viridian seems pissed and gets in a rage
So.
as he gets on Whirlwind. With 5 feet, I guess. Let's see how far he can make it. Whirlwind's got a dash. He can make it.
Whew.
Pulling up to the side of him.
Drift.
Yeah, drifting them as they're gonna make a jump and attempt to not let this dude get away. Rapier. And a shorty. Shorty's gonna get him, which allows them to get their sneak attack off.
Sweet.
Got a.
Dealing a hefty amount of damage. I mean, it's like 11, that's not that hefty. It's not good. It's not good over.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Ray
We'll
is
see.
also blessed, so that 15 could hit.
15 could hit. You are correct. D4. That'll hit.
Hey!
For an extra 12. Nice. Only it wasn't resistant to all normal weaponry like everything is at this level.
Oh no!
Flotsam, you just witnessed one hell of an act. You see your fish left high and dry.
I'm gonna dispel the fish. I don't need the fish. I don't
the
think it's
fish
gonna
are
go back to
gone.
that one spot. Wait, is this thing like up on a wall? Like, I guess I'm confused as like where it is in relation to Adelaide. Like, is it behind that house? Like, I'm confused.
I think Adelaide was trying to duck back and forth behind the wall, but since I don't have that, they're probably more just jumping into the alley. Since that,
Okay.
there's a house there, there's probably a wall there. If not, they would just be on the other side of the wall right now, and it would probably be a lot harder for any of you to hit them. So,
in my mind, I imagined I was on the second floor.
Sure.
How much movement speed would it take for me to jump out of the window to so I could get down at ground level as soon as possible?
5 feet. You just have to fall.
All right, I'll do that.
Yep. So you kind of just smash the window out, jump out.
Do you want me to take any fall damage?
No, I think it's high enough, and you're like a robot with like servo legs, so you know, like.
You make
You're
it
the
awesome.
DM guy.
From that height, you're fine, and if you're planning to jump out, so you're fine.
So first things
Superhero
first.
landing.
Yeah.
I am gonna. My eyes are gonna glow red as like the pistons go out, and I gonna use my mantle of inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna use it on myself and my 3 comrades. So that's 8 temporary hit points. I don't know if any of you has used your reaction. I think the Hellion might have.
No.
Okay, so everyone can use their reaction and move up to their movement speed.
Because they didn't use shield that turn, so I don't think they used reaction.
Oh no, you used your blood ability, which I think is a reaction.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that was
have
last
so I've only used 5, but I'll use my reaction as well to move there. And then I
So
have
Hellion, you still get the 10
left.
health though, so that's at least something.
I'll move here
8,
with the
right?
remainder of my movement.
8. Yeah.
It's 8 temp, and sorry, so that was gonna be Rowan as well. So I don't know
Yeah.
if you did that for Rowan. Right? Okay.
You got
Oh man, Adelaide. There's like, my hope is that I can succeed on this, or rather that it can fail it. But just with, it's either Vicious Mockery or it's Dissonant Whispers, but Dissonant Whispers I think would have a, so Dissonant Whisper says it has to move as far as its speed allows away from me. Would it be, but it doesn't move into obviously hostile territory. Normally that means like, obviously dangerous ground such as fire or a pit. Would it move past or run away from me? Would that get it out of range of, I guess the reason I'm asking is because I don't have a good sense of like where it is in relation to everything. Like, would it have room to run away from me or no?
It probably could, like, climb on top of the roof and start running if you think it could take its weight.
That's a good enough answer for me. I'll cast Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level.
Alrighty. It has to make a what saving throw?
A Wisdom saving throw.
To beat a what? A 15?
A 15.
Sadly, it succeeds.
Dang.
Does it still take half damage, though?
Yeah, it'll take 5 or 6, whichever.
Well, this
Dang.
is psychic, so... I don't think it is resistant at all to psychic.
Good to know, I guess.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to react too much to your, kind of ensemble of music that would be very annoying to some.
Yeah, and then I'll end my turn.
Alrighty. Oh, it's its turn. Oh, brilliant.
Oh no!
And my sheet over the turn order. Adelaide, it is going to kind of just try and chop you down in the alleyway, sliding its sword in there like a credit card almost. Attacking you twice and like kind of moving back to try and baseball bat swing Viridian off of his horse. A 14 on its first attack.
Oh,
That doesn't hit because I have mage armor.
Alright, so that just
Yeah.
glances off your mage armor. 22 to its second one, though.
Ooh,
So I think that's gonna hit. Oof.
that barely hit.
For 27 points of slashing damage.
Oh.
Not even a crit. Yelch. And a 17 to Viridian. I don't think he can beat that. No, so he gets clobbered. But he is raging now, so he halves it. to only 10 damage.
That was 27
Adelaide did-
damage, you said?
You took 27, yes.
Ow!
Damage.
Ouch, indeed.
Wow.
I'm glad it didn't hit you with
pissed.
both attacks.
Yeah. Alrighty. Comet. You are now visible.
Visible. Yeah.
Right in front of
And
Fox.
probably visibly confused and alarmed.
Yeah, visibly alarmed. Oh crap. All right. Well, I'm gonna come up here. Oh, it's this way. I'm gonna run up this way. Pop my starry form, so I'm gonna start glowing. Goblet pattern on my chest, and I'm gonna go ahead and cast. I'm gonna healing word Adelaide, because that's a beefy hit. So you get 6 HP plus since I'm on goblet form. Where are you?
He's got goblin mode.
Goblin mode.
You're going goblet.
8 more. So 6 plus 8 health.
Damn.
14.
14.
Starry's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I'm gonna move the rest of my movement over this way. Kind of trying to see if I can see Adelaide more towards there. Be like, "Are you okay?" That's gonna be the end of my turn.
At the end of your turn, it's going to use a legendary action to hit Adelaide.
No.
Oh.
Rolling a 17 to hit.
Yep, that'll do it.
Ooh. For another hefty 20 points of damage. As it is just destroying this alleyway. You hear Lex kind of screaming, he doesn't know what's going on. He's like, why the hell? We were safe a minute ago! Hellion, you see, it is gone. It is like just attacking this alleyway with some vicious intent. You're not sure how well your friend's holding up behind that house.
Well, did Adelaide cry out in pain when she got
Yeah, I
chopped up?
did! My bones!
Yeah.
Ow!
Rod, did you
I hear
take
my
your
bones!
did you take your temp HP and or movement from my?
I did. I couldn't get the move. Action was gone. So
Okay, just making sure.
I'm going to run, I guess, like. I should say. I can one movement get right behind me. And then I have the option of dashing. But then I'd have the bonus action where I can't really do much. So instead, I'm going to do what Adelaide was doing, and I'm going to firebolt the Valkyrie, knowing that it still is lacking fire resistance.
Might as well while you can.
Yeah. I'll hope for the best. Actually, hold on. Let me double check.
Hold on a second. This coffee, by the way, is the worst thing I've ever drank in my life.
Oh.
I hate it.
What'd you do to it?
I don't know. It just that hits. holy crap! Okay, calm down.
Oh wait, that three didn't happen. It's just the 13.
The rider flame, yeah. All right, what's
Rob
the
rolling well.
Yeah, what the?
Rolling well on fire damage?
Everybody got
Are
frozen
you?
for a second. I didn't
shit.
hear a word anyone said.
Oh,
We're all freaking out.
We're
I love
teasing
that
you
the-
for roll high damage.
I'm gonna send.
Yeah, don't attack my crew.
Oh no.
That's it though. I mean, bonus action, I can't really do much. So yeah, my turn.
Alrighty. Rowan. He's just gonna start running, dudes. Oh man.
I think he's doing a great job so far.
Silas.
Well, because I stood still in the when I did my double 2-level smite, I have burst of speed back again.
Sure.
So, you know, zoom! And, let's take him to, Frown Town.
Uh-huh.
And Crescent Greatsword him a little bit.
Give him a little bit of a scratch.
A little shebang.
That'll get him.
A first level smite. Oh, that's the wrong thing. There we go. Bam!
Yoch. So the 6 radiant easily. And the 10 slashing. Alright, as you cleave it with this attack, you hear a lot of kind of jets of wind start bursting from this thing as you have officially enraged this thing. As we all know, when you're fighting a boss in this game, at a certain point they become enraged. You see the wings on its back that weren't really being used start to kind of twist as they jettison off its back, and they kind of close together to form a shield on its right arm that it seems to now have, increasing its AC by a potential shield amount. As these kind of like jets of radiant wind start bursting out from it even more.
Oh no. I'm going for the ankles more.
Alright, yeah, you got that extra attack.
Ankle!
Ooh.
That enough? I don't know how much
yeah,
shield boost.
That'll get it, yeah. Oh, that 2, because it's just a shield.
Smite again!
Nice.
9 and the extra slashing Yoch.
I'm gonna great weapon master that too.
Alright.
Yeah. So that's 3 more damage, so 15
damage.
Slashing.
Nice. Youch.
And then I'm gonna climb up the gate and kind of be up, like, in its face. Because I had 10 feet of movement left and that climb speed, yo.
Alright. As you climb up, and in your turn, you hear the jet engine whirl up once more as everybody around it, even Comet, maybe? You are within...
So.
Well, of course, everyone's... Yeah, you would be. Yeah.
15.
It's within 10 feet, but that's like from the edges, so because that would be 5 feet, technically.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Where's my...
Unless you were aiming to be out of range of it with your movement.
Right.
If that is what you wanted to do, I will allow that.
I did want to like get more on. I was more worried about Adelaide than the thing, but that's your call.
I will say, since you are in that square, that yes, you will have to make a dex save as well as this thing starts whirling up, getting ready to get the heck out of here.
Oh. D4. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. And Viridian, if you would. Come on. Come on, screen. Got that. A 12. You fool! You buffoon!
God bless.
No.
Hey! It helped! Whirlwind also, though.
Oh no!
Those of you who rolled below a 16 take 12 points of radiant damage. If you rolled a 16, you succeeded.
I'm unconscious.
Oh no!
I had 10 health left.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Oh no!
That also means calming.
Anyway.
You gotta make a concentration check for bless, right?
Oh, that's right. Bless is still up.
Yes, I think that is a thing.
Easy.
And Whirlwind's looking a little hurt. As it has relocated, Flotsam, you feel the ground next to you kind of shift as it blasts and lands right next to you.
Oh.
The closed eyes realization, like, of course.
Bring it on, Cheeki.
That I
I'm
will.
not afraid of the Valkyrie Knight.
Oh, come on. They're kind of scared. Dude. Say you're scared of the vent.
I
Come
have
on,
no
dude.
emotion. I
Oh,
feel no fear.
fine.
I don't.
He's Feltheleb, not Fear the
Adelaide,
Leb.
make
about
me
to
a
make you fear the
death
Leb in a
saving
second.
throw.
Oh no,
Death saving
Adelaide.
throw?
Yes, please.
Oh! That means she's back up with one.
You're up at 1 health.
Fire lady.
Yeah.
You can do something. Can she do something in her turn, or is she?
You are up. You are fine.
Oh.
You are prone, but I don't think that matters.
Yes.
I am too angry to go to unconscious. I just
Oh my
Something
God.
just clicks. You're like you plan for every battle. You are like, this does not happen to you. You won't let this happen to you. You will not be the one
Exactly.
who is down, who needs help. You are the one who helps.
Adelaide is
You're-
actually like a very like 1/16 half orc, and just like that triggered.
Under here.
It just comes into play now.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's a great gif, Shade. Exactly.
okay. I have one idea. An idea to get me away from danger. But I don't think it's going to be very good if it decides to use its ranged attack. I think it would be the worst thing possible for me. I think I'm going to stay on the ground. I do have the spell fly, by the way. I could get out of melee range, but we know it can throw things that hurt you. Well, I lost concentration when I went unconscious.
Does Mage Armor still
so-
stay up as well, or?
Mage armor stays up. I was
Mage armor
worried about
stays up.
Dragon's Breath.
Okay.
Penny, do something.
Oh, well, I guess it wouldn't matter.
How far away
long
is
drink
Penny?
this? To him? Like
Yeah,
25
30 feet.
Yeah, 30, 25.
Yeah.
Easy.
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 Fuck it. I'm gonna use my bonus action for Dragon's Breath again.
Ooh, spicy breath.
Go, go, Penny Ranger.
So she's going to move boop, 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 over here. And then let's have it be lightning damage again. I like that a lot.
Alright. Lightning! Gonna make that
Penny the lightning owl.
dexterity saving throw. Failing this time, taking 9 points
nice.
of shock and damage. Sadly, I don't think it loses its reaction like most lightning spells do, but still hurts him.
And then I'm gonna get the hell out of Dodge.
Gonna start running.
Yeah,
You can
I'm gonna
run
like
up the alleyway if you want. You can get in the corner of the alleyway.
I'm gonna like run over here. I'm gonna take one last pot shot. And then like try to duck in a window.
Alright, yeah.
So one last firebolt.
Alright. Just, let it. So it knows you're still alive. That's. Yes, thank you. It misses, sadly.
Dang.
Scorches the wall a bit next to it, but not enough to start a fire, even though 14 damage would definitely start a fire, because that's a lot of damage. It's enough to kill, 3 commoners. Holy crap. But yeah, conveniently, for some reason, they built a window on the side facing the wall, so you climb in, you kind of give it the old shoulder. You get in, and Lex is like, what just happened? What?
I seem to run, man.
What matters is that we're still up, we're still here. And then yeah, that's my turn.
I imagine Lex is like, "You're covered in blood. Is that mine? Is that my blood?"
Like, we don't have blood.
Whose pages is this? Oh no. The ink. It wasn't set.
Am I inking? Am I inking?
Viridian is going to instruct Whirlwind to move to about here. So then he can get off.
Very good. We're learning.
Oh yeah. Can I real quick?
Yep.
Can I retrospectively tell Penny to fly behind the statue again?
Yep.
Yay.
Absolutely.
No.
They're gonna sprint also behind the statue.
Oh,
corner.
the animals
Pet
safety.
collective.
As Vernie is going to sprint at it.
Whirlwind, get behind Penny.
Yeah. Going for the 2 attacks. They're gonna be reckless because I'm gonna make him do it.
Because he's hurting his horse. Of course they would be reckless.
Exactly.
Enough for me.
The D4. Well, no, even at this point, no, that's ridiculous. It could never. They're gonna
Unless he
action
somehow rolled a
surge.
stiff on the D4.
Hey, they're gonna use the D4 on that.
Get it?
Yes!
Yeah!
For an extra 10, that's actually pretty good. Alrighty, so that is an amount.
I mean, it's an extra 12 because of the rage.
Yeah, there it is. Yo, she.
Don't be skipping on the 2s.
I forget, okay?
They add up.
That
I thought
means
that was
one
already
other one.
factored
Yeah, I'll
in.
give him another one. Flotsam! This dude landed right in front of this thing. Let's not gender it, you know. It's hulking massive flesh armor.
Okay.
Doesn't Viridian have one more attack? Because the action surged?
Do you get 2 attacks per action?
Does he have extra attack?
No,
Or
it's like a
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
pentuple multi-class.
Yeah.
Maybe
My
eventually.
original thing was to use Thunder
Cisgendered flesh
Wave.
I think
I
they're out of
imagine
range. 10 feet? What's the range?
No, well, the reason I don't want to use it is because I imagine their Constitution score is unbearably high, and I don't think it would be very helpful. When I could do something that I tried to do before, I am gonna try and cast Dissonant Whispers once
Try to whisper 'em.
again. But yeah, I'll do it at second level. I'll do it at second level again.
Alrighty.
Before I do that though, I want to use Mantle again because I want my buddies to be able to make their choices for this. Sorry that I'm doing that a little bit out of order.
You're all good.
It brings me down to one more. So I will use it on Viridian, the Hellion, Silas, and Comet.
Mm-hmm.
Do we
If
get
you are
8 hit
lower than
points?
8 temp health, yes. Put it
If
back
you
up.
if you have lower than 8 temp HP. I don't know if anyone else has 8 temp HP.
I needed it.
And then,
Yeah, I needed to.
and then you can use your reaction to move up to your movement speed.
We can change places.
You can move in my. Can I move? I mean, I'm not moving out of the. I can move to the side, if that's a possibility. If the
Yeah,
DM
you
will
didn't
allow
target
that.
yourself, did you?
Well, I'm not leaving.
Yeah,
well,
but
I'm
yeah,
not
you can
leaving
still
its
use your
space,
third.
so I can move over
Yeah,
if you wanted
absolutely.
to get there, just to make a space for Silas to be able to move into.
Well, I'm actually going to stay a little bit further back because I'm low on HP and don't want to die on its
Completely
turn.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang next to my friend Comet so you can heal me, maybe.
Yeah. Hey.
Right. Is everyone moved and/or
Right.
got HP?
Viridian seems like he's waiting to see if the Valkyrie Knight will run off. So he can probably
They have
chase
to
it
use it. They have to use their reaction as I do it.
as you do it.
They
Okay.
can't. Yeah, so it's they're reacting to what I'm doing, so it's not like they can hold off and use it whenever they
Alright,
want.
then
like
they're
after my
gonna
thing.
not, because they're not sure if it's gonna run or not.
Okay. The Hellion, have you moved where you want to?
Oh, did I get the?
Yeah. I didn't use it on myself. I can use it on up 4 people.
I keep wanting to drink
So I
it.
used
and
it on
hate
you.
I can reach it too. I'm gonna say no.
No.
Unless you want me to. Are you gonna ask Ra to get up?
No, I'm not gonna like say one thing, what to do one way or the other. I'll just let you do what you wish, but I will cast Dissonant Whispers at
Do what you will.
level 2.
Sure.
Oh, come on.
Oof, that's rough, buddy.
This thing seems to jitter and quake in its boots as it looks around, trying to discern where this whispering is coming from, and seems to go hiking off this way.
Yeah!
Running over here. That's as far away as it can get.
Can I use my reaction to make an opportunity attack?
I shall allow it.
Oh, never mind. I use. It's my reaction. If that's okay.
You haven't used yours. Neither did Viridian.
Oh, why was that with advantage? It would only have been a 12.
Sadly,
with advantage.
no bueno. Viridian, can you reckless attack a reaction?
I think from what I've read in the rules with Reckless Attack is it lasts until the start of your next turn.
Yeah.
Because the entire time everything has advantage on you. So
when you make your first attack, you can decide to attack recklessly. Doing so give you advantage on melee attack rolls using strength during this turn. So it's still during its turn. So yes, it would roll with advantage.
So 8.
Nice.
And 11 from my full Dissonant Whispers.
Yeah.
Psychic.
Seems to turn around, unsure why it is retreating, but
walks back and beats the shit out of us.
Yeah. Seems very confused. It is going to charge at you two.
Nice.
Making a sweeping attack. 1 at Viridian as it approaches. At advantage, because he was an idiot and used Reckless Attack for some reason.
Oh no.
What an idiot.
I know, what a fool.
What a foolish man.
As is going to take 2 attacks and make 1 attack at you, Flotsam. Rolling a 17? Got a lot of 17s.
Yeah.
And all 3 of these will hit, all of them dealing 25 damage. That's a very consistent amount of damage.
They're all hitting me doing 25?
No. Two of them are hitting Viridian, 1 of them are hitting you. So you take 25.
And Viridian takes 25.
Takes 25, yeah.
Just takes 25 because they're raging, yeah. He kind of gets, like, slammed twice. His feet are kind of buried, like, 2 inches in the ground at this point. But it looks angry. It looks furious. It gets, like, the little jets of smoke or steam coming out of its ears. As another thing it seems to be able to do when enraged is use its radiant relocation at the end of its turn.
Oh no.
So, Flotsam and Viridian must make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I thought you might say that.
I said it right to your face.
Spit
I thought that
right
might
in your lips.
Gonna be a fail from me, fam.
No. So you will take 12 points of radiant damage as it kind of vanishes in a vortex of radiant. Viridian will take off. I don't think he doesn't have cool rage. But they seem to teleport and land thudding right next to you, Hellion.
Oh, damn. Oh no.
Alright, bring it on.
Dang, that changes things. No. How far are they? Okay, I think I can still do that.
Do you dare?
I might dare. I'm gonna go Whoops, wrong button.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up here. And how much is okay? That should be okay. I'm gonna run up here and I'm gonna cast. Looking at my flower, looking back, I'm gonna cast Spiritual Guardian.
Ooh.
And around me is around 15 feet.
Mhm.
It's a bunch of like ethereal looking like twinkle blooms. So like the thing I have in my ear, and every once in a while you'll see a sunflower up there.
Aw.
So that's there, getting the Valkyrie Knight.
Mhm.
And then I'm also, as a bonus action, going to cast Mass Healing Word. So I'm gonna hit Hellion, Viridian, Flotsam, and Silent.
Alrighty. It has to
guys
make
get
a
it?
wisdom save for your vortex, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got to beat a 15.
15. It seems to beat a 15.
Day. Oh, hang on.
Does it take
So you
half
guys
on a
get-
16?
6. Hang on, let me read that in a bit. I'm healing right now.
I'll be healing.
Let me do the heals. So you guys get 6 plus
Oh, more plus more.
10.
Whoa!
Nice.
That's each of yours. So 16 back
each.
to...
Okay, Spiritual Guardians.
I'm confident again.
An affected creature, blah, blah. What if they're not affected? Sorry, let me speed read this.
Alright.
Makes a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes blah, blah. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. Yeah.
So roll up the damage.
Woo!
Damn!
Damn, son.
Radiant.
A hefty amount. Chunks them.
And its speed is halved if that matters.
My
Well, that's
holy
if it fails,
companion.
right?
Mm.
Or is it just anything in?
Anything
evil?
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it saves or not.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So Bless is gone then.
Yeah, Bless is gone.
Bless is gone.
And then yeah, that heal is gonna apply to me too, because I can choose up to
Oh,
6
hang on.
creatures.
I like plussed it. I took it away on Viridian. He should not be dead. Never mind. There we go.
Oh no.
Who all did you get with healing word?
Everyone. Well, it was Mass Healing Word, and I can't see you. I
Yeah,
don't
you're
think.
in a house.
Aw.
Yeah.
You're in the
So-
dying hut. You can't.
Yeah. I have to have visual on you, and I don't know if I can see you through a window or not.
I'll allow you to make a perception check to see if you can gleam him.
Let's see. Where's my perception? Okay.
In
Like
your
dying,
eyes.
like,
You are able to see them in one of the windows. You see them kind of looking around frantically,
You.
shaking
So
their
you get-
book.
Yeah. So if I can reach you, that's 16 more feet, or 16 more health
Mhm.
points.
Yeah, they're within
Hell
range as well.
yeah.
That works. Yeah.
Nice. Is that the
That
end
is my
of your
turn.
It is going to
Yes.
use a legendary action to hit the Hellion. Right on the head.
We'll try.
Rolling a very good try.
Okay, would it hit?
It seems like it's gonna hit.
And this is with disadvantage?
This is with disadvantage.
Okay. Sure, I'll shield. Well,
That raises
so
it
24 AC.
24. You just managed to block it.
Hell yeah.
Clings off and like cleaves another arm off the statue you seem to be chilling at. It is your turn.
Alright. My turn?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna attack it for attacking me. How dare it?
Oh, yeah. Beat it up.
Machine
So,
gun blows.
No blast, so we're just gonna have to rely on raw skill.
Raw skill.
aw, skill.
Raw skill.
That'll get
Raw
him.
skill.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I did not expect a yes from that.
Shane goes,
The double take.
There's 7. Not a
Nani?
lot, but let's go for a bonus action attack.
Hey.
Damn.
We're gonna 12, so that's 19 all day.
Shane's best episode.
I'm actually doing something. And I'm really doing it.
I'm helping.
It's just kind of like the next like turn, he's just going to like put his fist above me and then just.
Alright, is that the end of your turn?
That was action and bonus action, so yes, that is.
Alright.
Get him,
Is
Rowan!
gonna use another legendary action to hit you again!
Oh no!
Oh shit, do you have another shit? Oh, it's already still active. Well,
It's still up, yeah.
was active. It did another classic double
You
crit.
did a legendary action at the end of Comet's turn, right? And then I reacted to that. Then my turn
Yeah.
came. So I'm rules learning myself, to be fair here, but I don't have another spell slot. I'm out of spells, so I can't use
Yeah. But yeah, it is at the end. Yeah, so it would be like kind of at the start of Rowan's. Either way, it would have broken through it. So I guess, you know, that's fine because it rolled insanely high.
Oh. You got another double crit.
He did.
Another double crit?
You take
Third one this campaign, Cheeky.
a double. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of double crits. You take a total of 32 points of slashing damage as your shield fails you. You kind of relied on it a bit there, but it was not there when you needed it most. So 32 all up.
It waited. I would like to think it knew that I was doing that, so it waited for the shields to fade before it just fucking hit me. I was like, ow! So 32, what's minus 8? That's like a number. 24, right?
Yeah?
Yeah, 24. So I take 24 because that's... So I'm at 20. Alright.
Yeah. Rowan! Get him!
Get him!
Oh, little man. Chop, chop. The 19 will hit. Bonk.
Mm-hmm.
He shouts about getting his home back. Get out of here, stinky knight, Silas!
Okay.
Sure.
If I move
Fuck
here,
yeah, I still have... Yes!
That blood.
if I move here, are we technically surrounding it because of whirlwind?
No, because Whirlwind is retreating, and they are not
Hit him,
medium.
Penny.
But what about? Ah, damn.
Penny does not retreat.
Penny's a bird.
Penny doesn't
Penny's
run.
aggressive as hell. All right,
Penny has 4 hit points.
that doesn't stop her.
Hit him, Penny.
Crescent greatsword. Ah!
Damn, that'll get him.
Nice.
My final smite.
Damn, how many you got?
Ah!
Like 5 smites? Sheesh.
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 All right.
So you slash him up again. That, like, right ankle is getting beansed up something fierce.
Yeah, I'm now like hitting like. Is there bone inside of there?
You're not sure what's going on inside of there. The wound kind of just seems to be seeping like this, like, arcane wind shooting out of it.
Well, I'm gonna go for the other ankle now and see if I can.
You've done
topple
enough
this
to
thing
the
over.
other.
Yeah, this ankle's properly screwed up. I'm gonna go for the other one. Ah! Oh,
That won't hit. So it brings its shield down. It kind of slams it right in front of your sword as it bounces off. It's shield.
oh damn. And yeah, that's my
the end of your
turn.
turn. Alright, before Adelaide goes, it's going to use its last legendary action to hit you, Silas.
Oh,
Me.
Swing. Rolling a 25 to hit.
Yep.
Dealing 23 slashing damage.
Ouchie.
Ouch, indeed.
That halves my current health.
oh.
Ugh.
It's hard.
Adelaide.
Alright, first I'm gonna tell Penny to use lightning breath.
Ooh.
Just like fucking point blank at this dude. I mean, they landed like right in front of her,
Yeah,
so...
shot. They're more screaming and the lightning's just coming naturally, so... they seem to have failed the save. So they take Yoch. Oof. Are they gonna zoot away? Are they gonna chill out?
Yeah, Penny is going to leave. Bye.
Out of dodge.
Because she has flyby, she doesn't have to worry about opportunity attacks.
Fine.
Yeah. Alright. Thank you, Shane, for the gif.
Oh no.
I want to hurt this dude. I'm gonna move out of the dying hut because I'm no longer dying. I'm gonna throw a spell at it. Let's throw a chromatic orb. Let's make it cold damage. Let's be cool. Let's be chill about this.
Stone cold.
Yeah, it's like Dr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Batman.
Nice.
Why don't you cool down?
So you blast this thing. It kind of hits one of its horns and creates like a chrysalis ice around one of them as it freezes it in place. Well, it wasn't really moving, but it has a whole huge chunk of ice hanging off its head now.
Yeah, and I'll use the rest of my movement to like get in the very edge of Comet's glowy flower aura.
Yeah.
The nice aura.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
Alright, Viridian's gonna come a-running. He can technically, if we ignore the fact there's a statue there. But I don't think I
That's a
can,
cool flip.
in my right mind, ignore the statue there. So he's just gonna have to run here. And make some attacks. Come on, load up. He's gonna reckless,
Unless
he's angry
Whirlwind
about it.
decides to hoof him.
The 20 will hit. 4.
Get him.
And a mount.
That amount.
Let him out. Let him out. Sounds like I'm saying let him out. Whirlwind disengages and runs.
Run!
Run, Whirlwind, run!
God, he's gonna teleport after Whirlwind.
No.
Flotsam!
How bad does this thing look?
For you or it in general?
Does it look... You know what I'm trying to...
Roll an
don't make me do
insight.
this.
Roll an insight. Let's see if you can understand the well-being of a potentially non-human feeling. Well, you know, you probably have some related to this
That's
thing.
right.
You're not sure. This thing's like stature or energy has not changed at all, other than when it became enraged and like altered its form a little, like Transformers style. But it has not changed its like pace, its expressions. It doesn't seem to be getting any more frantic than it was before. But so you can't
because it's
rightly tell.
about to be this thing's turn, and knowing what it can do, I'm gonna use my last Mantle of Inspiration. Gonna use it on the Hellion, Viridian, Silas, and Adelaide.
For Rowan.
I don't really care about Rowan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
He hasn't
use
been
that
hit.
reaction.
If anything, use all 3 attacks on Rowan. That's
Why
that's.
would I?
Can I use command to make it attack?
Oh, you guys ain't surrounding it? All right.
So that's 8 temp HP as well for everyone who hasn't exhausted any
Thank
temp
you, I need
HP.
more. Give me all the temp HP.
Oh, the Hellion, you're so damaged. I am going to cast the... This is making me upset. I think I just want to deal damage, so I'm going to once again use my last second
Move one
or
down.
third level spell slot to use Cloud of Daggers at 3rd level.
Get the dudes back.
Get the quips back.
Yoch. So it takes a
4-4-1-1, eh?
And then another one in the upcast.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Yeah. Christmas.
Evil goldfish.
That all she wrote for Flotsam?
Oh, I guess I forgot to. Oh, I didn't cast it on myself. I guess I can still move.
Yeah, you still got 30 feet.
Should move into the safety bubble.
Does that provide us safety at all?
If it's in it, it takes damage a bit, but that's about it. It's also movement is halved, but
I'll move over by
Also,
50.
yeah.
hiding behind Winnie. Yeah, I'll move there, and then I'll end my turn.
Alrighty. It is going to
Take damage from my
Arrgh!
thing,
Roll it up!
just in case that kills it. We
Roll
don't
quick.
Do you want to use the same one, or do you want to re-roll it?
I have been re-rolling it, so I'll
Let's
just
go
stick with
re-roll.
that. That sounds fine with me.
Alright, damn.
One more damage.
nice.
Does it take more damage from the vortex you're doing, Comet, at the start or end of its turn?
Yeah, it needs to make another wisdom saving
No,
throw.
the wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
Before it can do anything, it might die.
Please.
It seems to make it, but roll the damage anyway because it's halved.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
17.
Damn.
The flowers are whipping at it.
Flowers and fish, baby. Flowers and fish.
Alright. Now that it can move, it is going to make 2 hefty swipes at the Hellion, the little buzzing bumblebee that seems to be always at its feet. And a backhand swing at Rowan, since it's there. Hellion, it looks like the first one's coming at you.
She's got no more
Why do I
spell
even
slots.
Why do I have Blur? What's the point? I'm like,
I imagine this thing has a very high attack.
It has a pretty high attack.
Alright, well, it's, I guess.
Alright. So it will deal with its first hit, 19 points of slashing damage.
Oh no!
So I'm down to 9, and I'm gonna just real quick.
Yeah, see if your thing's up. It
Real
is
quick.
still
I
up.
still have it.
Doesn't
Still got
matter.
it.
It rolled high anyway. It rolled 2 24s.
Great.
I know, I'm ecstatic with this thing's effort. 20 points of slashing damage as you are embedded into the pavement.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun, Cheeki. It's all we can hope for in these trying times.
With the amount of health y'all have got, like, sheesh. Alright, and its last attack, which was a 19 at Rowan. Poor dude doesn't have enough armor for that. He's got goddamn enough health for a big hunky knight dude.
Such a wayward word.
It's gonna rev up. And Rowan and the Hellion must make dexterity saving throws. I don't think you can, Hellion.
I fail mine, so that's just a...
Yeah, you receive
I think
one
that's
death
just a death.
saving throw.
Yeah, so that's a failure.
But Rowan must still do it. Doesn't
Unless
even
he can
matter.
deal, like, 50 damage with this radiant thing. If that's possible,
Yeah, right.
then he could just kill me outright.
It deals 14, so definitely not anything to worry about too much in terms of your maximum. But
It just rolls her over.
yeah, pushes you to the side. Adelaide, you feel a large gust of wind as it seems to appear directly behind you, looking down at you with a lot of menace.
This thing really is kind of just going a mile away.
Yeah, teleports behind his
Behind you.
Dude.
Wow, I can't believe that the Valkyrie
the
Knight is a
truth
misogynist.
And it ends its turn. Yeah, comment.
Yeah, who names themselves the Valkyrie Knight?
Jeez.
Adelaide pulls her book, and then mystic runes appear in the air, and they spell in a secret language the word "girlboss," and
Shatters his ankles.
So, as an action, I'm gonna pop my Twilight Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone in that aura can gain
me.
1d6. Yeah, 1d6 plus 2 temp hit points on their turn.
Everyone in the aura, huh?
Yeah, everyone in the aura. Well, everyone I choose, but yeah.
Everyone you choose, yeah. Even if you come in, there's no guarantee.
So
So
what's everyone getting?
Not yet. On your turn. But I'm also going to, as a bonus action, cast Healing Word on Raw.
Okay, thank you.
As expected.
As I planned.
Mhm.
So you get 6 plus Goblet.
Now hold on, do I have to be in the aura to get this next
No,
one,
I
or-
can just do that.
Yeah.
You are in the aura anyway. Fine.
Well, I'm in the big aura, the greater aura.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But it's you're
Aura,
good.
man.
Mhm.
So that's that. And then I got the 8, so that's as much as I can get anyway, so I'm not getting those temp hit points. That's my turn.
Comet has so many auras. He's like a JoJo character.
Mm-hmm.
Aura.
Alright. At the end of your turn, it's making a legendary action to hit Adelaide on the head.
Walk.
Bonk.
Miss.
Rolling an 18
Yeah, that hits.
for 26 points of slashing.
No!
That's all my health.
That's all of it? Oh,
I had
no.
25.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Hellion. What's up?
Alright. How many? I get 10 hit points? Is that what happens?
No, that you just have 15 hit points.
At the start or end of your turn is when the purple aura comes in.
I believe it just says on your turn.
Alright.
Let me check.
Just tell me what I get.
Whenever a creature ends its turn, yeah. So at the end of your turn, you get those temp hit points.
Got it. Alright, in that case, I'm going to get up, which uses half of my movement. Then I'm going to activate another Blade Song, give me an extra 10 foot on top of the 20 I had left. And then, let's see. Not quite far enough. I guess I'm just gonna have to, hold on.
Still have Firebolt.
I know, I wanted to do a different thing. Just don't have the movement for it.
Cheeki, could I have moved at my turn? Or is it too late?
It's too late.
Okay.
Because you're gonna make him take one step
I
over.
basically-
Yeah, I'm not letting you get closer. Not this time.
I like run up and kind of, I guess I could do Firebolt, but I have a less of an attack bonus with that. I have a higher attack bonus with Produce Flame, but more damage with Firebolt potentially. Fuck it, we're going for damage.
Go for damage.
That wouldn't have worked anyway.
It eats it. It just loves it.
Is Rowan going to get the kill blow?
Maybe.
Get it, Rowan. Get it, Rowan.
Is that the end of your turn, the Hellion?
Forget what I said about you earlier.
That's all I can do, yeah.
At the end of your
What
turn.
do I get at the end of my turn?
Temporary.
Temporary hit points?
You get 1d6 plus 2? Yeah, 1d6 plus 2 temp hit points.
Okay.
Nice.
Damn! Got that 8 back.
Nice.
Cool.
Rowan gets ready to start running, but the Valkyrie Knight has another legendary action. And there's a perfectly good chopping block right in front of it.
Oh,
It's making an attack at Adelaide on the ground. With advantage
They
because
really
you're
hate to see a girl
unconscious.
boss winning.
So if they hit, I'm pretty sure it's a crit. Because you're
it's 2 death
unconscious.
saves.
Unless it
failed death
kills
saves.
you outright, but I don't think it does. No, you're...
Are you sure? I
Yeah.
have not many hit points.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it with advantage or is it?
It gets advantage because you're unconscious, and if it hits, it automatically crits. It's like Paralyze rules.
Got it.
It did not outright kill you, it did 30 points of damage.
Oh.
So you just take 2 failed death saves. And then Rowan comes
Just that.
running.
Oh.
And he's gonna make his 2 attacks. Hitting 1. Damn!
Oh, Rowan. Kill it. Kill it, Rowan.
He jams his axe into its side. It seems to still be standing, and it's gonna use its last legendary action to hit him on the head.
Oh God, thank you. Not.
He did crit him though. He fucking hit him down.
Oh, no.
He's got tons of health. He could take 5 crits at this point, this dude. Why'd you have to bring him?
Why'd you have to get him, Danny?
He invited himself.
No, I
No,
brought him.
that was Graham who invited himself. I should have got this crit on you. That would have killed you. Silent. What? Someone. I gotta kill someone.
Yeah, I'm gonna rush this. I'm gonna rush this guy and just go. Don't you lay a hand on her! And jump slash at him.
It cocks its
That's
head
really
at you.
pog, but I would really prefer healing.
Right?
I don't
I
think
have
so.
Silas. I have 2 failed death saving.
Yeah.
I prefer the fun part.
Dirt is next.
I've done it, Adelaide. I've saved you. Corpse on the ground.
Roll your hit.
Why aren't you thanking me?
That hits.
Come on.
13. Shoo. Alright. Your extra attack.
Good. Yeah.
Come on.
Alright, well, yeah.
Wait. Great weapon master.
Oh, yeah, you get to reroll the entire thing.
Roll blower.
What have you done?
Doesn't matter, however, for that is still enough. How do you jump slash this nerd?
I just like its blade went to go down and strike Rowan, and I jump on top of like the blade and just cleave right into its helmet, and it just kind of goes like caves
From the
in the
top?
helmet. Yeah,
Goomber it.
yeah, and just like kind of ride the mechanical body down.
Yeah, you hit it, and just jets of steam and arcane energy just burst out through the gaps of its armor at the top, blasting you in the face, sending your like fur up in the air like a Super Saiyan. As it slowly stumbles back and like crinkles in on itself almost. Its sword and wings kind of breaking apart and clattering to the side as you fell the Valkyrie Knight.
And as I just kind of leave my sword in its head, I'm gonna run over to Adelaide, and 25 HP lay on hands.
That's
Just all of them.
an action.
True. Are we still doing action economy?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we're still because she's still got to make her death saving throw.
There's nothing we can do. She's next in initiative order.
She's next in initiative.
Cheeky!
Into the void.
They could have. They could have.
Get another 20. Get another 20.
If you succeed, they can do that. If not, then well, you know.
Oh, you know.
Oh, you know. This is what you get for critting.
So, you have a D20.
Change the music. God damn it.
Change the music. Alright, hang on. Let me change the music.
This is
Nameless song comes to mind.
A famous song.
I'm not.
The Nameless song from Dark Souls comes to mind for this type of moment.
Actually, you are pretty right. Oh, hang on.
Oh no!
Is Adelaide gonna join us in the Blue Man group?
No, I don't wanna.
Every time we've been in this spot, the person has failed their death save. I just would probably not want to point out.
Well, it's Adelaide this time, you know. It's the Fire Lady.
I think I used up my luck earlier.
Yeah.
I know.
Alright.
Well, let's see.
Let's see
No.
Roll it.
if we are alive or not, Adelaide.
Oh!
Hey!
Damn it! Damn it!
I was legit pissed. Lay on hands! 25 HP.
Girl boss.
Girl boss moment.
Oh man.
So, like, almost like CPR stance, like, 25 HP right into you.
Oh my god.
Oh, right at it too.
Yeah. Jesus. You could
And,
not
like-
have cut it any closer.
And as you're, like, coming to, I also just kind of, like, put on a very gentle smile as he's, like, has a lot of blood on the side of his face from his own self, and just, you okay?
No.
It was
So, come here. And he'll kind of just, like, lift you up into a hug.
I don't have the strength to punch Silas.
You say
And
that out loud.
I don't.
And, I'm actually just gonna full on pick up Adelaide like Princess Carrie.
Damn, Adelaide, you held out. Good for you. I need to sit down.
There was some tea in
down.
there was some tea in that house that I was in earlier.
If anyone would like to partake.
Yes, can I interest anyone in a cup of tea? So I
I'm gonna
bleed
put
out.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk up. Is everyone okay? What do we need? What's
Oh.
Adelaide,
Oh,
how are you doing?
I've had
I'm
worse
like-
days.
I'm like sitting on like this raised area, and I'm just like, I'm not looking at anyone, just exhausted, kind of bleeding, but otherwise fine.
Do you want to stay up here, or do you want to walk on your own?
I want to walk.
And I'll kind of set you down gently.
I'll send Penny away to the pet dimension. I'll give her a little pat on the head, and then
As they warp away, you feel... Well, you know who it is, but you feel a very vicious trembling sensation in your book bag. Almost as if you have like an animal that is frightened to its core in your book bag right now.
I'll open it up.
You see, staring up at you is just a very, very determined and just anxious eye of Lex staring up at you. There is... The fear has just been hit into this book somehow. If they could be tearing up, they would. They are like they get like inky tears because they're a book.
You're making the words run.
You're making run-on sentences.
I'll pick him up. I'll like hold him to my chest.
They tremble slightly, and if a book could let out like a kind of sigh in relief, you definitely feel it. And even though to all of you, you see them kind of hugging a book, Adelaide, this feels the closest thing to a hug you could ever feel right now. Like, they don't have arms, but somehow you feel incredibly hugged right now.
Oh.
Oh.
Are they okay too?
Oh, he's fine. He's fine.
I didn't know they got that big. I look at the Valkyrie Knight.
You look, and they seem to be crumbling and turning into the weird black sludge most creatures do once you've felled them, as you see kind of at the base of where it was laying, kind of around where the chest is, you see the kind of flickering blue essence of a flame that seems to be powering most of these creatures you kill. I don't have the little... Where is it? Is this it? Does that work? Yeah. Oh, little.
I'll go get it with my sword and and pick it up.
As you kind of reach over and try and hook it, you see that like the black sludge kind of piling at where the thing has melted. You see these little flecks of like shining glass almost in the puddle. A thing you can easily assume what is, as you've seen many other creatures, well, not many other, the Ankeg you fought before seem to have some of these in them, little shards that seem to empower creatures. This thing seemed to have quite a few in it before it was what it was. Gotta find like an oil puddle. Yeah.
Is it just Silas saying that?
No, I think it turned into that, so everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. What if it was the blue things that caused it to go crazy? Like, if we used the light to bring this essence back, wouldn't it be like an angel or something? Like something good?
I don't care to find out.
That's fair.
I think whenever I've used the blue light, it doesn't seem like it brings people back to before. I think they come back just as they were. I don't know if it purifies them. I think it's actually added more blue to them. As I look over to Silas's blue armor.
Yeah.
I don't think this thing is getting any better. In fact, if we bring it back, I think it might be worse.
Yeah, I don't really want to risk that right now anyway. I just, just an idea.
But I'm glad I didn't have to use it on Adelaide today. And I start I reach my arms out for a hug, but I don't give it to her right away. I'm like waiting for one.
Here if you want it.
Oh, she's already hugging Lex, so like.
I stretch.
Long day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Well,
Perhaps we should take up refuge for now. I don't think any of us are in the condition to be traveling back even to the camp that short distance away.
you want
Not
to?
without like rest for now.
I can wait an hour.
As I said, there was tea I think that I saw in that house. We could look around. We could blame it on the monsters taking it, I suppose.
I'm very interested.
Rowan kind of just like widens his arms as if like, "Hey, I'm here." Like, what do you mean?
Or if he's actually looking at me while I'm saying that, or if you would prefer, Rowan, this could be seen as a meager compensation for both saving your town and, if you will recall earlier, your life.
Guy shoots a smile bleeding out of many. Well, one. I got 2 hits. Poor guy. He kind of just waves you off. He's like, it's just tea. There's not much here right now, but... Well, there's walls. We'll rebuild. Nope, see ya.
I want to look at the houses to make sure there's no zombies or anything waiting for us.
There doesn't seem to be any. In fact, it doesn't look like anything's really touched anything in these places. They seem left to kind of how they were when people left them quickly to escape zombie things, you assume.
I will prepare the tea as I had seen it done, because it's one of the few things that I can cook, because it's a very simple process. It's just in my mind.
I've got a pot and everything for you, and I'm just gonna find a pet somewhere, and I'm gonna claim it.
All right.
I'll just sit in the room where there's prepping tea for whenever anyone's ready to come in.
The bottom left building seems to be a bordering 4-story tall building, much larger than the rest. That looks like it has many floors, outfitted for people to sleep in.
Oh, this one?
Yes. The bottom right one seems to be a place that people seem to eat and gather for meetings and the chill.
Then I'll stay right.
This is the only thing around here? I think Graham said that there would be more.
Let's just keep an ear out. And I'm gonna go over and close the gates, if I can.
Yeah, with enough effort.
I'm a strong guy.
You said the bottom right thing is kind of like a mess hall. Is that what you described it as?
Yeah.
I can bring stuff over, I guess, to here if there's a common room that's away from the beds or whatever for when people decide to show up.
I'll kind of stay out here and wait until everyone starts piling in.
I'll just give a knowing nod to Comet, Viridian, and Rowan. Walk in.
Viridian will follow.
Hang out in the safety corner.
Oh, a new sleep house.
Sleep house.
You all seem to be chilling at the reception and downtown downstairs.
Downtown.
The downtown.
Whoa. This house has a downtown?
Oh, it's crazy.
Rowan, get in here.
He looks over like, oh, okay. Oh, you guys wanted to talk amongst yourselves for a bit?
I mean, you saw everything happen.
Yes, I did. I'm gonna lick my wounds for a couple of minutes, then head back and grab everyone.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna stay here for a bit until we catch our bearings again.
Good work, everybody.
I like have a tray of tea. I'm like,
I'll go take some.
Yeah, give me.
Partake.
You'll partake in
you notice that on like
jasmine
the
tea.
And Ra would know about this, but you guys would all notice that there's just like a cup that's just empty, but there for like the camaraderie of it all.
Just to be there.
I'll take a cup with 2 fingers because it's too small for my hands.
Oh no.
To our victory. Ho!
Reaches over. I mean, I'm not gonna reach it. I hate it.
Oh, it's hot.
I'm mad.
Yeah.
Oh, don't chug it. It's hot.
Skull.
Skull!
Put on the thing that's betwixt, boys.
Ra, are you like in a bed, like asleep, like sleeping, like napping?
Napping up.
I think you might be frozen.
Oh no.
Doesn't look frozen.
What?
Oh,
Oh,
there you go.
sorry.
Are you?
Yeah, Ra's just like napping on a couch or some sort of soft thing.
So how long do you think that thing's been here?
I mean, a week, right?
Yeah, roll nuts. Well, the Van Dyke Knights came, wandered through. Then, not long after, a couple of days, he came back. But as those things... Well, you haven't seen the little ones, but that was the big one. They didn't walk in with that thing, mind you. There was no large knight that looked like that before they went in there. I think that's probably one of them, but a bit messed up. I think the cultists did something. Cultists usually meddle in those affairs.
You know, the people from the Opal Eye said that they like to research and learn things. We also found a place where someone seemed to be doing that. Do you think maybe the cultists are giving these things the shards on purpose?
He shrugs, kind of kicks back a little. Your guess is as good as mine. I sit around and make sure people don't, well, do what they did to this area. I wouldn't second guess the cultists doing something like that. They were obsessed with the thing when it showed up.
Because if we got rid of one of their experiments, I'm kind of worried as to like what else we might find. Especially if we go in there. You said there's lots of little ones inside.
Yeah, he nods. And then kind of shakes his head, leaning forward a bit more. He's like, they're nothing like that. They're like you and I. They're just...
People?
Yeah. But... zombie-like. In nature. I don't think they're giving those... enhancements to anything. I think they save them for... bigger things.
Right. I wonder how we can tell what was on purpose and what was an accident. If we could. Adelaide. I'm very sorry I couldn't help you any more than I did.
It's fine. I was fine on my own.
Well, even so. But I think, if we all take a rest here, I think we might feel a little better. I'll go ahead and, start playing my harmonica.
I
will,
really loudly.
If it's all right, I'm doing this because the Hellion is not in the room for this. Would you all mind listening to a song that while we are resting? Would that be okay?
Sure. I'd love to.
I'll look at Viridian, and Viridian's not here for this.
Yeah.
We'll send it to him.
I just want to make sure that we can. This is also not a song that I actually wrote. This is a song. Can you hear this while I'm talking as well? Okay. Love of mine, someday you will die. I'll be close behind. I'll follow you into the dark. No blinding light or tunnels to gates of white. Just our hands clasped so tight, waiting for the hint of a spark. If heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied, illuminate the nose on their vacancy sign. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, then I'll follow you into the dark. Then I'll follow you into the dark.
No.
Just gonna say, Silas was looking at Comet while you were singing.
Oh.
That is one of my favorite songs, so hell yeah.
Really good song.
Though kind of like
if it helps with the copyright strike that we might get for that, I Will Follow You Into the Dark by Death Cab for
Comet was, I guess, silently playing the harmonica besides that.
silently playing
as silently as he could.
just adding where they can.
Yeah.
As they play, Adelaide, you're kind of having time to reflect on what's just happened, and it definitely was closer than you have gotten in a long time to where you have gotten to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a lot just now.
You were out.
What happened?
You remember being out just somewhere in like pretty much a limbo state. You're a little bit aware of like, oh, you had just got hit by something. You are now like at risk somewhere, and like things got way worse very quickly. But just like other times, you managed to get out of there, get it by the skin of your teeth. But as the song's happening, Lex is just buried against your chest, or wherever you've placed them at this point, to drink your tea.
Got him. I still got him.
Underarm tucked. Football carry. And telepathically, I think you guys can communicate telepathically, right? You hear a very timid Lex, and just muttering, "Are we still gonna stick around, or are we out after this? That was close. That was not good."
That was close, yes. But it could have been worse. We did make it. So I say we're going to stay here as long as we can.
You hear the book equivalent of like choking back a tear. It's like, all right, but just don't forget, Ada. You can lose me. I can't lose you. That's not how this works. I can't bring you back.
For what it's worth, I tried to be as careful as I could.
That thing was a freak. What was that?
It was. What the fuck was that?
Some kind of freaking angel demon. Never again. Never.
Never again.
Silas, you and Comet are kind of... Well, I'm not sure if Comet is returning the eye contact. They probably think it's a game of, like, who can stare the longest. Like, don't blink. And you keep losing something. Like, you just keep... It's weird. But you're holding this essence. And as the song's going, you can feel it kind of thrumming to the sound of the music. It definitely feels a lot more active than the other ones you've had so far. And I guess the others would know that is what yours felt like when they were holding it. I don't think you know what yours felt like. Viridian, I think, was... No one even got a hand on his soul essence thing, because... Y'all got him like right as it happened, yeah.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels weird, and a lot more different to the ones you've felt so far. Even coloured different. It's got like a weird... Well, a very deep blue tinge to it. And I'm not sure, in the aether, wherever you carry these things.
I'm just kind of holding it like up in the open right now.
Well, everyone kind of sees it kind of flickering and beating a lot more than the other ones you've held. And Comet, as you're kind of harmonica and playing the riffs in the background, very silently playing the harmonica, you feel or kind of hear something rummaging around in your backpack. Something seems to have gotten in there at some point.
Ooh. Oh, I go as I like stop playing the harmonica abruptly.
It's a face hugger.
Yeah.
Back face hugger.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll like open the backpack up and try to like look into it to see what I find, since I know what should be in there.
Yeah, so you'll see Comet kind of like circle around their backpack to their front, and you go rummaging through it. It's many different pockets and packages you have in it, and you see kind of where you keep your like spare food, your little rationy bits. You see that there's this... Well, he probably was tiny until he ate a lot of ration. There's this like kind of chunky mouse sitting there now. He's kind of like two-handing like a larger block of cheese that you had for later. And he like makes the mouse, it makes eye contact with you, and then just like keeps eating while staring at you with its little mousy eyes.
Well, hey there.
It like stops eating, kind of confused why it can probably understand. You get this a lot when you talk to a thing that doesn't really know what you are. It gives you a nod as it takes another bite and just keeps munching.
Well, that's yours if you want it. Oh, I think we've got plenty. Hi, I'm Comet.
Well, it looks at it as you mentioned that it can have it. It kind of like underarms. It's pretty big, and then it grabs another crumb and like underarms it on the other arm. And it gives you a nose. Like, oh, how you doing?
You having fun in there?
Yeah, you got some delicious crumbs in here, mate.
I mean, that's you got Silas to thank for that.
No, I don't know what that is. What cheese?
Oh, do you want to meet him?
No, I'm good.
All right. You don't want to come out?
Yeah, alright, but you're gonna have to lift me. Kind of reaches out and like
Okay.
takes another bite of his bit of cheese. You will watch Comet as he pulls out this small but rotund little mouse that seems to be two-handing some food.
I found this little dude in my backpack.
Dieter, you've activated a trap card.
It
Silas's eyes
explodes.
go. Whoa.
Oh no.
Great action.
Well, I guess I'll ask him like, what's your name?
What you mean?
Oh right, I forget. Well, yeah, I would like you to meet everyone else that I've been hanging out with. Those crumbs came from the food that everyone else had, and I point to them and was like, that's Adelaide, that's Flotsam, that's Silas, and then like I don't know if Raw is in the room, so I'll be like, that's Viridian. And then we also have another friend called Raw, but she's not in. You can't see her right now. But yeah, they've all enjoyed the food too. So you guys have that in common.
We'll say, like, to Comet, this mouse looks like very like expressive and like very lifelike to Comet. Like it's got like gleam in its eyes. It has very emotive expressions. But to the rest of you, it's just a chunky mouse, just like sitting there, like beady eyes staring at you all. And you have no idea why Comet is introducing you all to a mouse.
The hand is coming up.
Oh, do you want to pet them, Silas?
Sure. I think you were getting the vibe of a cat that's about to hunt a mouse.
And I was like, no, don't give it to me, mate. He's bright as suspicious.
Well, and I kind of pull back. I was like, well,
yeah, good move.
Yeah. He was in my bag. I think he likes the food you make, Silas.
Uh-huh.
Keeps eating, just big mouthfuls of cheese.
Oh, where did you come from?
Oh, you guys was just sitting around, so I thought I'd, pop in, have a little look.
Right, how many suns ago was that?
I know, it's really dark in there.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Did you hurt yourself in there? There's some pointy things in there.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good.
Cheers, though.
Well, I mean, I can leave you here in the house if that's comfortable, or you can come with me in my backpack. There's plenty of food in there if you want to keep eating.
To you, he like brushes his nose and like looks back in the bag, but to the rest of you, it's just still sitting there and beady-eyed looking around. So, yeah, it sounds pretty good, Free food.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't mind sharing. Just
Class act.
How about you go in this pocket, and anything I put in there, you can have free. You can just have it. But if it's in this pocket, maybe wait until I tell you later.
I'll inquire about it.
I think that's good. Yeah. All right. Here you go. And I put him back in the backpack.
Crawls in. You just see the lump outline of a mouse now in Comet's backpack, still as if it's
Another
eating
pet
something.
For the pet dimension.
That's the
more pets for our group.
Yeah. Well, I think we made a new friend.
As soon as the mouse disappears, the eyes go from dinner plates back to the slits.
I'm like playing music this whole time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna enter. I think at one point maybe just like look at Adelaide and do that thing that puppies do where their heads kind of go, like, what is going on?
She'll just give like a tired shrug.
Okay. That might be a good spot to. I'm gonna have to go sometime soon.
Yeah, well, it's about at that point when you start like slowing down. When you hear like a sound you just did not want to hear right now. You hear kind of like metal banging, and you hear kind of echoing throughout the courtyard. Hello? Well, are you in there? Where we saw you killed the thing, and thought we'd pop on over. As you hear the voice of Graham echo throughout the courtyard.
They saw.
You gonna let us in, or are you just gonna keep this closed? You hear like the rattling of a...
I feel like all of our collective shoulders just like sink.
It's like, yeah, I like misplay for the first time.
Just one of the strings just go.
I like quickly like fix it.
I rush downstairs, swords drawn. Enemies. Enemies.
Close. Grab.
Enemy.
I see whirlwind. Is anybody else there? Hello? Hello.
Whirlwind is trying to hide.
I'll go let him in.
Oh, Rowan, I think your friends are here.
All right.
He looks bit shocked that they're here.
Hmm.
And you all can have definitely used them to hit dice at this point.
Oh,
Yay.
I use Prayer of Healing, so anyone already gets.
So everyone gets
health point
13 easily.
Oh, do you want me to roll for Song of Healing?
Yeah. Get the Song of Rest thingy.
Song of Rest, sorry.
Yeah, you did.
It's 1d6, I think.
So, Prayer of Healing does what?
It just heals you 13
right away.
points. Yeah.
They go 13.
Oh, you went, I don't know. Okay.
Plus 3 from Phil.
If
That's
you
to
use
each
a
hit die or just once?
Just
Yeah,
whenever you
just
spend a
once.
hit dice.
You have to spend a hit dice during a short rest, and if you do that, you get to add 1d6. Or you get to add the 3. So
Max HP.
As you walk out, you see that Graham is with the rest of the gang. And he kind of splays his arms open. He's like, Silas, right? So you have vanquished the foes here?
how you gonna
Yep.
get Silas and Flotsam confused?
You feel like he was going to say Fluffy Man.
And I was gonna throw his head into the bar if he did. But I kind of like undo the latches and pull the gate open, slightly ajar,
Yeah, they all
and like
creep
let
in.
everyone get through. But when Graham's going through, I'm gonna start closing it.
He kind of like jams his foot in between the two things to go, hazing me, I get it, come on. Shimmy back, Silas.
You can squeeze.
You're damn right I can. He barely squeezes in. He's like, okay, yes, okay. Ugh.
It's all that
And then-
grease on him.
Yeah.
I expect much as a weasel like you to squeeze through holes like that. And I walk back inside, and I just almost do like a mental high five to Adelaide from that line, and then walk inside with so much confidence.
I'm in Ra's room.
Graham's just like, I get it, you're jealous of how cool I am. It's, it's written all over your face.
He really kind of wanders over to Adelaide, hands in coat pockets. Adelaide.
I don't think we've properly talked yet.
No, for some reason, the others required my attention a lot more. Hello. You're a magician, correct?
Yes, I am. She just looks like some combination between like exhausted, frustrated, and bored. Like all three at the same
He
time.
kind of cocks his head, like, are you disappointed in that fact? You seem sad about that.
No, I've just had a rough afternoon.
Kind of furrows his brows a little, kind of leans down a little. He's a bit taller than you. Like, what happened? Are you okay?
We fought the big thing that was at the door.
Yeah, the big knight thing.
Yes. I broke many of my bones, but they're better now.
He kind of squints at your arms, and, like, you look like you just rolled out of bed. What do you... I mean, you're a magician, so... Suppose that's normal.
What do you want, Graham?
Nothing. I thought you wanted to talk. You were standing here. Did I interrupt?
There were noises outside. I went to go see who was there.
Well, it was us. We're here. I noticed that you guys dealt with whatever was happening here, so I thought I'd collect the crew, save you the journey.
You saw what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were at the camp.
Well, we can be in many places that... I wasn't at the camp, okay, you got me, I was curious. Carmine and Jasper were there, I'm sure they could have used the break from me anyway.
That mouse is familiar. I bet he was warging through this like grill.
Rat little man.
Makes
Of course,
sense.
the rat man has a rat familiar.
Little mousey.
It's
You-
not
you
true, I
would-
like them a lot too.
So you were just going to watch the fight, not join in?
I mean, what could I'd get in everyone's way.
Well, I mean, didn't you volunteer to go with us in the first place?
I did, but your
I
friends
thought you'd be
didn't...
keen on a fight, Graham.
I
Gaslight.
would... Adelaide, I would. He kind of, like, circles around you, like, goes to put his arm around you, but, like, doesn't, sensing your aura. Kind of looking
Yeah, I
back.
like preemptively like clench my fist.
Your friends don't like me.
I've been made aware of the situation.
I know, and I'm unaware as to why. I'm
I'm
just...
It's fine, we don't like you.
And now, see, now they eavesdrop
looking
on
out
our
the window.
conversations. They don't give you a moment of privacy, do they?
No, definitely there are times where you just want to be by yourself.
Right. Right. Exactly. Right. Anyway. Are you back home? Are you returning to your manor? That's where you're headed?
I wasn't intending on dropping by. There's nothing of value there.
And give us your look. Really? You... So why are you here, if not for some personal quest of self-identification?
Well, I am on one, but not for something as so tangible as wealth.
You said there was wealth. Is there money at your manor?
That's the takeaway.
Fair enough. So what are you getting from the old deal you all signed?
I did ask for money, but the reason I'm here is because there's secrets no one else knows. No one knows what's going on here. If I figure it out, I might be the only person alive who does.
Taps his foot, stepping back a little. It's like, well, that would be a nice thing to put on your permanent accomplishment list. Maybe a resume if they ever make that. I could help you. I have many little birdies that tell me many little things in these parts. I could No, if you ever want help. I'm not sure if you need it, but...
Oh, that's very kind of you, Graham, but I've managed well enough on my own.
I'm just saying, I know many areas in the city, others don't. You know, the library is huge. I'm sure you remember it, right? You used to go there. Big library in town? Did you know it's 3 layers deep? Thing goes into the earth. It's crazy. Got lost there for a week. Anyway, I'm gonna say hi to the others. As you were, Adelaide.
Have fun with that.
Yeah.
As he like
the door's locked.
we're all like exiting out. Like, all right, let's get out of here.
He does seem to stop a bit. It's like, you are okay though, right?
Me?
Yes.
Of course I'm fine. Why wouldn't I be fine?
Because you've been trudging through this place for a couple of days.
I've been doing that for many days more. And I'm fine.
Fair enough. I won't press the matter, but you know, if you ever need, I don't know, whatever people say when you're being supportive, I suck at this. Look.
I can take you away from all this, baby.
I'm just saying, if you need information, do not hesitate to ask. Or whatever. Gestures as he opens the door.
And he
I'll keep that
opens
in
the
mind.
door to just Silas's face, and he just kind of goes and steps past him with all of his stuff.
Okay. You step in, lean on Comet again, who's sitting on the ground.
Yeah, probably.
What's
Hey, Graham.
wrong with Silas? He seems angry at something.
Oh, I mean, we did just have a tough day today. A couple of us got in trouble. That might be why he's upset.
In trouble for what? There's no law here.
Well, Graham, there could be multiple kinds of trouble. You know, sometimes you get in trouble when you upset someone in a higher rank. But, this trouble was kind of...
Let's go.
This trouble was just more of... There were problems. The big thing we defeated kind of knocked a lot of people down, and it didn't look good for a bit, but somehow we were able to pull through. I'm glad everyone here was able to help each other.
Is everyone okay? Adelaide looked perturbed. Silas is angry. Well,
I think they needed time.
You are ever the wall of wisdom you have ever been, Comet. Kind of pats you on the shoulder. Sure you kept everyone safe, yes?
I tried.
That's all we can ever do.
I think Adelaide might be a little angry with me, but I don't blame her.
She's angry at everyone. She'll come around. Don't worry, big man. Like, runs his hands through like the top of your hair, trying to figure out what it feels like.
Can he even reach that high?
Well, come and sit down, so. Anyway, Ra isn't around, is she? Kind of looks
I
around.
think Ross
I snuck
climbed out the
through
window.
side. He gets in. I tried to give Flotsam a look like, hey, let's go. and then I went to like the side room. I don't think there's a door there, so I just like opened the window and snuck out. And I want to talk to these people instead.
Yeah. Seeing Ra isn't around, he does make ocular contact with you, Flotsam.
Oh no.
And he gets, like, it's kind of the smug expression he always has plastered on his face kind of turns a bit more stern as he kind of thumbs out back out the door. He's like, can I talk to you for a moment, perhaps, Flotsam?
Yes.
Emotionless, but just your face.
Like Fel does not want to at all, but Flotsam, like... Just us, I hope. No anyone else. Hey, please. I mean, you already said yes. Why am I trying to sell it?
Dark alley.
He kind of wanders
dark
out.
alley where no one's gonna see. Far away.
He seems to wander off over here. As Helene, you see that Jesper and Carmine seem to be like inspecting the goop that is being like sinking into the ground here. They look quite worried about it if it will stain. They seem to be talking about how they will clean it up and if it's dangerous.
Definitely not a good thing to touch, but I wouldn't worry about it staining or anything like that, even if it does. It's just stain.
Jesper turns around and kind of like gives you a very warm smile and kind of walks next to you and looks back at the pile of ooze. Like, what if we set it on fire? Maybe it'll evaporate.
I don't even wait for Jesper to finish before I produce flame and throw it at it. See what happens.
Yeah, it seems to bubble and hiss, much like tar would, if you would like to light a flame near it. You think after a while you might be able to burn it, but the fumes from it would probably be very toxic and unhealthy. Sarah and Carmine instantly, step back and, wander their way around.
Maybe not burning it with people around, but that'd be kind of fun. Get a fire going. I don't know. Maybe we need a strong wind so we make sure that it blows away from everybody.
Taps his chin, nods. Well, how did it go? Are you all okay? No one's hurt?
Well, I'm feeling much better now. I think everybody is, but it was really tough. Adelaide definitely had a tough time. Adelaide's not like a frontline fighter, but this thing could teleport in a burst of light, and it seemed like it knew where she was and would always sort of target her. It was kind of bullying her, to be honest. It wasn't very nice. And she took a hit while she was already unconscious and survived. I'm very impressed, but also, as she's not a frontline fighter, I could tell she's not really used to that, so she just needs a little time to recover. I got knocked down too. That's the first time that's happened in a while. Yeah, this is the toughest thing we've fought since we got here.
Well, be careful if you ever go into the city. There's all sorts of undesirables in there.
It seems like the closer we get to that thing in the sky, the tougher the enemies become. By the way, do you all have a name for that? Because we've been trying to figure out what to call it. We haven't agreed on a name. I've been calling it the Blue Moon. I feel like that's a bit simplistic.
They all kind of
Big Blue is another suggestion.
among themselves. The decree that it was just a weird phenomenon, so everyone just called it a phenomenon for a while. I don't think we really knew what it was or what we should call it. Well, the cultists called it the Blue Moon, and that's probably why they're attached to it now. So you name something, you instantly gotta keep it around. Pet rules.
I think we should call it Big Blue, and if anyone asks, that's what it's called, Big Blue. Spread the word.
Alright,
let
Big
people
Blue.
know that that's the name, it's Big Blue.
I suppose that's the least we can do for getting our home back.
Also, I have another question for you. Well, it's just us. How did you all meet that Graham character?
Kind of runs his hand through his hair as he looks over at Graham, waiting patiently for Flotsam to hopefully.
Get some sick Graham lore in
Oh.
here.
Because he's kind of a bellend.
A bellend? Okay, well.
Yeah, like a dick. Like, doesn't really kind of fit your whole vibe that you guys have going.
Well,
I wonder
no,
if
he's not really, well, we're knights. We protect our citizens no matter their attitude. You could say, we don't get to pick and choose who we're gonna save. He was just around, and he did apparently help Sarah, so...
Oh, is that true, Sarah? Did he help you somehow?
She seems to be, like, side-eyeing over at Adelaide, since you all mentioned that she was, like, the most hurt. But she kind of snaps to it and looks over. Just like, huh? What? Excuse me?
Graham, seems to help you. Do you mind... We're trying to get a beat on him, because, to be quite frank, none of us really like him at all. He kind of sucks, generally, but if I can learn something more about who he is, and maybe, like, that he doesn't suck all the time, that'd be kind of cool. That he helped you, Sarah, is what I'm hearing?
She looks over and then kind of, like, clutches her arm, kind of keeping it close to her. You kind of, even without insight, you think that they might be remembering a wound they might have, as they kind of look down to the side in a bit of shame, and she nods. Yeah, when the cultists started getting extreme, a lot of people tried to leave quickly. He helped me leave quickly. Got me out of a few jams. It was us until we found these knights. He might be sleazy, but he's not heartless.
Yeah, he's a tough one to read. But I'm glad to know that he helped you. It's good that you're here with us now, Sarah.
She nods, kind of looking at the silhouette of the town back across the bridge.
I'm back to, like, looking at the sludge.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, like, how are we gonna get rid of this sludge? Now I'm with them. We were the sludge removal team.
Sarah seems to wander off past you, Adelaide, kind of side-eyeing all your equipment and your gear as she, like, wanders inside. Seeming to be interested in what you seem to carry around.
Cheeks, I am going to have to go soon if you wanted to have a conversation between the illustrious Graham.
Oh yeah, if you want to wander out now, yeah, feel free. He's waiting. He's eager to talk to you, man.
Is this going to be a long conversation?
No, we can keep it brief.
Okay. All right. I'll walk out with Graham.
See you in a bit, Flotsam.
You go up to him and then he shoots you point blank in the face. There it is, brief, done.
Robots don't cry.
Like, I hated robots all along. So you wander around. He seems to be pacing a little, waiting for you. He seems unsure and almost surprised that you have actually come to meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get kind of close now, he kind of circles around you to, like, put his back to the others that all seem to be gathered around the oil sludge. And he kind of looks at you a bit examinatively, like he's trying to get a read on you, but you've seen how hard that is. And with a rather stern expression, you haven't really... You're not really used to him not having a shit-eating grin on his face. Like, they're not controlling you, right? They can't hear me right now, can they, your friend? He kind of, like, head nods back to Ra.
No.
Okay. You're not, for lack of better words, their property, right?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you're not some sort of iron slave to them. You seem much more sentient than what you first seemed.
Is that all?
Kind of grimaces a little. It's like... Mostly, I was just worried back when we were burying the bodies. You said that you're only here because of them. I wasn't too sure if that was... Well, because you had no say in it, or if that was actual camaraderie on your part.
Do you not think me capable of camaraderie?
He kind of waves his hands up in the air, backing off a little. It's like, I didn't mean that. I wasn't sure.
No, I'm genuinely asking.
I'm not sure what you're capable of at all, Flotsam. That is why I'm so interested in what you are. And if you were some kind of iron slave to something, I would like to have freed you from that. But if you're not, then that is, well, better for all of us.
That is a generous notion. But I am here, although perhaps my previous answer did not indicate it as such. I am here of my own accord. The decisions that I've made have been my own. However, I have chosen to accompany Ra on this quest.
You must be very good friends, then. Now looks back at them, who's still looking at the goop.
I think so.
Well... Not sure what else I really have to ask you.
Do you think so?
Pardon?
Do you think so?
Well, anyone willing to follow someone into these places for nothing other than just being their friend. Well, I envy that.
Why?
Because most people I have known are out to get things and want things. You want what your friend wants.
Understood.
Are you... steps as if he wants to leave, but still seems to have stuff lingering on his mind. Like, you're okay, right? I mean, I asked Adelaide the same thing, but you're okay, aren't you?
What do you mean by okay?
I don't know, I look at you and I see a lost dog or something. Not that I equate you to a dog, but you seem lost. It worries me.
I walk away from him.
I know how to find and figure out things, Flotsam.
I stop and I turn around. Go on.
You've seen some of what I can do, right? With the whole, flicks his wrist.
I nod.
If I could use that to help you, would you accept help?
What do you mean, help me?
Looks around, kind of tugs at his collar a little. Okay, I did something, but you can't be mad at me, okay? You cannot... I was curious. If that kills the cat, then so be it.
Go on.
He sighs. He's like, I identified you, okay? I got the read on you. Kind of waves his hand up and down your body as if he's not really sure what to say to explain what he has done.
And?
I think you're broken.
No.
And I don't mean that in, someone who is broken. I think more, like something has broken. You're fractured, if you will.
Can you explain further?
Okay. Do you know how you work, right?
Yes.
Your two things that make you you.
Understood.
He kind of like taps you on the chest. He's like, this one is fine. And then he kind of like points to his own forehead. That one, however, is a mess.
I guess I kind of understand what he's talking about. Is that right, Cheeki?
Yeah, you definitely feel like you can't remember a lot for one.
Yeah.
So that in its own is weird and not normal.
Are you saying that you can fix what is broken?
I'm saying I could try. Not here, not now, obviously. I could...
Where, when?
I'd want to make sure it doesn't explode you, so you'd have to give me some time
Where and when?
Jeez, he kind of rubs the back of his head. He's like, well, when's good for you, I guess? When...
I've got a lot going on. Let me pencil you in.
Like, when aren't you busy?
I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to instead ask, what would it mean for me to be fixed?
Are you asking him or me?
To Graham.
Oh. He kind of puts his hands on his hips and looks around a little. It's like, well, I don't know, maybe you'd figure things out more, remember things you might not know, figure out what you are. Of course, you might be completely comfortable with who and what you are right now.
Oh,
That's
I
really
could save
rough.
you from all this.
That's really rough, Cheeki.
Got pats you on the shoulder. He's like, look, I will read up on it. I'll do what I have to. You just tell me if you're ready and when. But if not, I could drop the entire thing. I'm curious as well. I want to know what you are, where you're from, what you're doing here, why you're dressed as a pirate. Well, I'm sure you could explain that one. Your friend's also, you know what I mean. I want to help you.
Why?
He shrugs. You're interesting.
This is a generous offer, Graham. And I will make apparent what should be apparent. I do not trust you. To offer you what seemingly would be access to my mind would amount to an ultimate act of trust. And so I shall say again, I do not trust you. But the offer you have made me is very important. And so to that I will say that you should prepare. And if any more information you have changes my opinion of you for that trust, then I would be willing to go forward with this. But I need some time to think on this proposal myself. Does that make sense?
Gets a bit of the smile back and nods. Of course. I'm not just... It's like I'm just gonna wave my hands and do it now and annoy you. Like, what would that get anyone? And if there's anything you can think I can do to gain your trust, then, well... say it and it is done.
What's this guy, genie? I wish you recommend. Poof.
Understood.
Let you get back to your friends. They probably miss you dearly.
I'll just nod and go over to my friends.
Oh,
Oh, can I do one last thing?
Yeah. You shoot him?
Can I ask one thing, Graham?
Oh.
Do not tell anyone else of this.
Yep.
That will
Zips
be your
his
way
lip.
of earning. That can be your way of earning my trust.
He nods. Of course, Flotsam.
May I be clear about what I mean?
I will not speak a word of this to any of your friends, nor anyone I meet at random, nor the birds in the trees, about what we talked about here.
Specifically, do not tell my friends that I am broken.
Oh, of course not.
I will nod, and I will return to my friends.
oh.
And I want to go to bed now because you said it was going to be a short conversation, and I thought I was just going to shoot Graham,
No.
and it was going to be fine.
Cheeky, you can't just do that!
Graham wanders back over, kind of nods at you, Adelaide. He's like, stand any longer and you become a statue, Adelaide.
I just want to.
I really want to punch him in the face for that.
I'm not mad at Graham anymore. I'm mad at Cheeki.
Oh no, Flotsam, I missed you.
Told you!
Watching
I told you!
React, Phil, was more entertaining than most YouTube videos in my subs feed. Like, it was so beautiful.
Yeah. I don't know what to, like,
I hope-
that's not...
I genuinely hope that you can actually have a good night's sleep,
Oh,
because it's probably such a revelation
Yeah.
to end it on, but...
I am gonna have to go.
That's
I have to go
alright.
to sleep.
we've
Yeah.
been rocking for 3 hours, so we're probably ending here.
Alright.
Sheesh!
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna- I'll put messages in the thing as I'm going to sleep.
Alright. Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Good.
oh no.
Cheeky. Damn,
What's
good
up?
job.
Well, it's fine. No, it's good. Yeah, I guess unless there's anything anyone else really wants to be doing right now.
I think Adelaide wanted to punch Graham.
Oh yeah, you can. You kind of smile at his cocky smile. He's
I was being somewhat facetious, but now...
If given the option.
kind of like
just wanna-
side eyes the book you're holding rather close. This gives you a curious
Okay,
look.
for that, I will literally punch him in the face. I'm gonna make an attack roll now.
From looking at your
Walking at
book.
him like this.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and roll it.
Roll for punch.
Like, hey, Why is your fist raised up? Why are you marching towards me?
Well,
What's going on?
why are you angry at me?
Hey,
So it's gonna be a d20 plus 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I'm just rolling the d20 now.
Oh, that was almost.
So 7 to hit.
You feel like this man not wearing armor and maybe not that dexterous. You think that might have clocked him, or he didn't try to get out the way as you just 1 point of bludgeoning his face.
Oh.
Kind of reels back a bit, clutching his nose. He kind of stares at you.
Where are you looking?
I was looking at your books. Ow! Why
I'll
did
ask you not to do that again.
Okay, I won't look at someone's books. Gee, Adelaide. No need to punch me. Just ask. I mean, are you okay? What's wrong? You think it's gonna
I will
punch
walk
you?
off. Goodbye.
Come on, Adelaide. You can talk to me about whatever it is. Oh,
there it is.
dear.
Babe, wait!
Babe.
Wait, we can talk about this.
No!
Ah. He walks
I
in,
make
it's
a
like,
note.
comment, she punched me in the face. What was that? Dear.
Just the entire time, like, Silas has been, like, huffy in his face. As soon as he went over to the guards, he was like, "My friends, you've came!" Was, like, all really buddy-buddy with them. Because he actually likes them. And specifically will say, "Rowan, you did a mighty fine job," and, like, do, like, the hand on the shoulder. "You are an outstanding warrior.
He kind of
Thank you
smiles.
for coming."
Kind of looks at the others like, well, at least someone appreciates me around here. Sheesh. They kind of
good.
give you a look.
Mhm.
I mean, you literally, like, uppercutted it with a sword and, like, all that, like, white light. Like, you guys are freaking awesome. She
Well-
looks like she's on fire. He gestures over at the Hellion.
Mhm.
It's awesome.
I do.
You do. You literally look like you're on fire, and it's awesome. Like,
You
it's,
do work.
I don't hear the compliments. Sometimes I forget that it does look pretty badass, but I appreciate that.
But we'll probably be heading off in the next hour.
they'll kind of
They have
look
places
amongst
to
each
go.
other. It's like, not even gonna stay the night?
I have a place I need to be.
Oh, fair enough. Feel free to take whatever. Yeah, gestures around. And to leave these fish.
Get those fish out of there.
There's just been quippers falling in that one spot for like 2 hours.
I kind of like
Wow.
grab Graham's face from his nose. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
Yeah,
Here,
right
hold
there. That's
still.
where it hurts.
Yeah, and then I'll give him a little cure wounds there.
He kind of glares at Adelaide as you walk upstairs or wherever you walk. Oh, because I looked at some books.
I'll just
Oh, you
like
don't look
announce
at- Oh, I
it
was
to the
muted.
building.
I go to some secluded corner where I don't have to look at Graham and his stupid face.
And I'm just gonna announce at the building, we're heading off soon, you should get ready.
Oh,
Still got plenty of daylight.
Yeah, but don't worry. You'll see us again when we are done with our business out there and we enter the city proper.
Jasper kind of nods and bows a little, kind of patting you on the shoulder. You're welcome here more than anyone. Feel free to stop by any time you need a rest. We'll be sure to keep it defended this time.
Y'all got any studded leather armor? That you're not using? Just
Sure, we got some in the back alley here. It's yeah, yeah. You
That's what
can
I like to hear.
have some studded leather at this point. You're level 5. Actually, I'll level 6. Don't have to know that.
hey, Oh, I do want to welcome
Yeah.
Sarah as she walks into the house. Sarah, hi.
She smiles and waves. Still a bit scared of you, you get the sense. Hello, Comet. How are you getting along today?
Well, I mean, a lot happened, but I think we're okay for now. As I like try to like make sure that no one's bleeding around us right now.
Brilliant's recovering in a corner, just ragdolled.
Ragdoll. Yeah. But I think you probably had a better day than anyone else here.
She like looks around. Like why would you say that?
Oh, I don't know, did you run into anything you didn't like today?
Shrugs. Not really. I mean, I guess I had a safe day, if that's what you mean. And that's always good.
Yeah.
And I am very grateful that we are back here. We get attacked like once every month here, rather than...
Have you had to run away before?
She kind of looks out at the city and nods. When this all happened, a lot of us had to run.
Well, maybe now, as we go in, can be a little safer. If not, we can try to make it. But I think we'll probably be heading back on our way here. I think we have somebody in our group that really wants to go somewhere else for really quickly.
Yeah, your feline friend Silas?
Yeah,
Seemed
Silas.
eager to get to that farmstead.
Yeah, I'm proud that he wanted to help people more than head over there quickly, but now that we did, I think it's time we help him.
Kind of smiles and nods. Well, be careful there. Graham says there's weird stuff lurking around there.
Oh, does he? I look at Graham.
Graham kind of looks at it. He does.
Where you said there's some big things around there. Have you seen them?
Well, no, but people talk. Some people who make it out of the town all manic and crazy, you know, they talk about things stopping them from leaving, and just dangerous things. I don't go poking my nose in obviously dangerous areas. Well, apparently, except for Adelaide's book bags. The most dangerous.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, she really likes the books. I think it'd be better to let her, give her space there.
Yeah, I don't know. Look, just be careful. That weird knight in red armor was all like, don't go in there, it's weird.
Wait, a knight in red armor?
He nods. Kind of puffs up his chest and takes like a much bigger stance. Like, big man. Big thing. Had a helmet on.
Oh boy.
They were watching the town from like the kind of at the crossroads. It's like, what are you doing staring at the town? Is they're like, it's wrought with plague and some other fancy words.
So, what color are the royal guards? Are they just like the blue and
They have like
yellow,
a cream, like eggshell colored armor with like blue.
Okay.
And
then the Van Dyke is like black and blue?
Yeah, black and purple.
Black and purple. And these guys are just wearing red.
Yeah, the one they mentioned seemed to be wearing some sort of red armor.
Okay. Okay, well, I might have to have a conversation with Silas if that's the case.
Yeah, they seem eager to head out already. You guys aren't staying for dinner?
I mean, we had tea.
He looks around, he's like, no one invited me for the tea? crumbs.
Well, we didn't know you were. Oh, crumbs. Actually, I have someone here who likes crumbs.
Raises an eyebrow.
No, take out the big rat or the big mouse.
He kind of sneers at it. A rodent.
Yeah.
He kind of reaches a hand up carefully. He's like, "You want me to take care of that for you?"
Well, I think they kind of found a good little place in the backpack. I don't mind bringing them with me. I think they want to keep eating those, so I put it back in the backpack.
You just let rats and mice in your backpack to eat your stuff.
Well, we have an agreement.
You have an agreement with a mouse.
Yeah. Talk to it or talk to them.
Right.
They understand.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. It pats you on the shoulder. Look, Comet, hey, look, I wanted to talk to you, actually. He kind of grabs you by the sides of the face like you did with him. I noticed when we were talking earlier, you have like one of these little things. You kind of like finger slaps the flower in your hair.
Oh no. Mm-hmm.
No, I was just wandering about in the forests, minding my business, watching you kill that thing, making sure everyone was okay and safe. It just so happened. I don't know if you like them. I mean, you wear them. He kind of reaches into his coat and pulls out one of your little flower things.
Oh, you found one.
Yeah, right? It was just sitting there by the wall.
Oh, really? It was outside. I didn't see it.
Ah, it was pretty out the back. It was like that way. He kind of points behind the house.
Okay.
Not sure if you went that way.
No, we just kind of stayed here. Listen, those are a little important to me.
You wanted me to keep out for more? I can,
I mean, if you find any more, let me know.
Brilliant. Okay, he kind of tucks it into your beard. You keep that one. That's from me. No charge.
Thank you. Yeah, this is amazing. This is great. Well, I'm glad we were able to help you out. You just helped me out a lot. And I'm gonna go ahead and open my book, put it in a new page. I'll go through all the old.
He raises his eyebrows at how many you've collected at this point.
Yeah.
Like, oh, go through wow, they are important. Jeez.
Yeah, I need to find a lot.
A lot. What
yes,
for?
Okay. It's.
Oh, is that saying I shouldn't have asked? It's your business.
Well, I don't really mind. It's just.
Oh, good.
It's just some. I need to know how many there are here. I need to find as many as I can. It's important to somebody, so it's important to me. And
a running thing in your little group here, it seems.
Oh?
Well, just whatever's important to others seems to be important to others of you as well.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how friendships work.
Once again, I am envious of the big purple man. Pats you on the shoulder.
Well, I think we gotta head out, but you know what? You have a great area around here from what I can understand. I think everyone here seemed to like this place, so you guys can probably hang out here. I don't know if the city is safe.
Oh no, we're not going in there anytime soon.
Okay.
Well,
we'll probably be back to help you out if you need some.
I'm sure there's a lot of good you can do in that little town over there. Well, in both little towns. Well, I was referring to the big city, but there is a little town out there, so both places I'm sure you could all do very good.
I'm glad. Well, I start getting up.
Yeah, anyway, you go get him. go save another town, Grommet.
Yeah, I think that's where we're heading. Well, thank you again. And
Of course. My treat.
I like put my hand out to shake his hand.
He'll shake it. He's tiny in yours like anyone's is. But unlike others, he didn't really hesitate to shake your hand. He was like,
Okay.
he was all for it.
Yeah. We'll see you later.
Mm-hmm. I
And
do
I'll
hope
turn
so.
around and head outside. As I wave bye to Sarah.
Yeah, she cracks a bit of a smile and waves. How ridiculous you two are.
And I'll just pop back in behind Silas.
And Graham makes himself a cozy little spot right between you all so he can annoy all of you even more.
Right between Meridian and Adelaide.
Yep. That looks between you two. He's like, so what now? As we will round up session 21 of Antumbra.
Wow.
Whew. We're in it, fellas.
We're in it.
Sheesh.
We're level 6.
You are
Level six.
officially level 6 now.
Please look at this charisma saving throw modifier.
Oh no.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Holy
Yeah,
Tabby.
I'm immune to being charmed.
Holy shib.
Oh no, Cheeky.
Yeah, it's like, shit. Never make a charisma save.
Oh man,
Holy
So, yeah.
shit.
Cheeky, that no at the end of Adelaide's
Yeah. No.
No.
It was so close.
You bastard.
you know, if I didn't do the kill right there, he was going to legendary action to kill Adelaide.
Oh,
I mean,
You made it.
They had already used all their legendaries.
Mhm.
Sadly
We weren't
enough.
keeping track, you know.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
I'm very
damn.
excited to use all of these very high saving throws now.
Yeah, bloody hell. Anyone within like 10 feet of you gets like a plus.
It's +4.
Yeah, plus charisma to all saving throws.
hmm
That's
Also, with the
crazy.
essence, may I have it? Because I still don't have one.
Oh, you still don't have an essence?
No.
Yeah, I mean.
And this
well,
is the
we
only
can-
one that's like so far been like, okay, I can actually like use this.
Right, because it gives you a parry, right?
They can either give me a parry or just better sword.
Hmm. I mean, I don't have a problem with it. That parry might be nice, but Comic doesn't get hit as much as you. So,
I don't think you got hit at all during that.
nah.
You
I mean,
was
I
just
got
like
hit
in the
with
middle.
with the teleport, but that was it.
That was more like proxy damage.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh man, I was so I couldn't. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of like miniature panicking the entire time because I was like, I'm not gonna be able to heal anybody or everybody. So every single time I was like, I gotta go here, I gotta go. So I was just like, oh dang. So I'm glad it all worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Is enough.
Yeah. Hey, y'all are still alive.
So yeah, I think Comet was feeling pretty bad about that too.
I gotta roll the new hit dice. Oh,
We're not long
3.
resting though, so we're still at where we were.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like, I mean, if I'm at full hit points, I could still add like the 8, but if I was at 20, I would just add 8 to the 20 and to the max.
Well, you
Like,
also did heal more, so I don't know if that counts. Because
The short rest would have healed us. I mean, if I hadn't short rest.
right.
But, like, I'm not getting all my long rest stuff back yet, right?
Jesus.
Not until we long rest.
Not until you actually sit down and long rest.
I rolled bad on health. If that's the case, can I just
Ooh.
take the,
You
the
take
average?
Yeah, y'all got safety
Yee.
nets.
Oh, we can roll for health.
Yeah.
Forgot
Yeah.
about that.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
The
try
minimum
and
is
see
the
if we get
average,
above.
so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I have 40 hit points now.
Sweet.
Ah, I rolled the average though.
Nice. Forget what my average. I think it's 5. Well, there it is.
55.
5.
Yeah, 55. So that means with so Song of Rest, that puts me at 63. Not Song of Rest. Temp HP from somewhere.
Are we still recording, or have we cut out?
We are still, but we will say a quick goodbye to everyone on YouTube when they see this. So thank you all for watching, and I mean, half of this was
Captain Cheeki.
No, don't ever hate him. I want the lowest. I want like the most amount of views compared to subscriber ratio. I want like 0 subscribers and like a shit ton of views, and that would be hilarious to me.
Okay, so unsubscribe from Captain Cheeki, but leave a like.
Yeah, like, comment, and
leave a like and comment. Unsubscribe.
Subscribe and then unsubscribe, so it like really freaks out the system. Just for the fun of it. Yeah, see you all next week when I hopefully finally kill one of yous. Damn.
You're trying your best.
I'm doing my best. Yeah, I'm doing my best.
Well, Cheeki, next episode, just kill me emotionally.
Yeah.
I'm already doing that to Fel, you know. One at a time.
I really are.
I gotta go.
You know, I gotta say, it's so easy. It seems like you can just like look at him and he'd be like, "Damn it, Cheeki, why are you doing this to me?"
Hey, y'all getting your turn soon.
Uh-oh. Can't wait.
I'm worried. Because of what we talked about, I'm worried.
Yeah, see you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Fel. No. Shame,
I think he thought it was done.
Yeah,
He said,
ow.
recording. It's like, nope.